stock in oil companies. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Lawyers for cancer patients are urging a federal judge to toss out the second bankruptcy filing of a Johnson & Johnson subsidiary, arguing the company is...
Hello, it's Brad and Ryan.
Hey, welcome to Monday and welcome to the Andy Frey Show. We got a really kind of quick, late-breaking show for you today.
Give them the scoop now, though.
We're not going to scoop. Not going to scoop, but
Nope,
we got
no scoops. Just cone.
Lots of late-breaking news just as we're getting ready to go on the air here. So we'll be talking about those late-breaking things. Real quick, Ryan's going to bring this Monday roundup at 12:45 for the Wiggins America segment. Got a lot of stories. How many stories you got?
Yep, well, we got three main ones.
Three main stories, so we're going to talk about some of these things that you might have missed over the weekend. And then at 107, we're going to have Erica Harris in as the state senator for Illinois' 56th district. She's going to talk to us a little bit about Mayor Brandon Johnson's conversation with the Illinois Senate whenever he addressed the Illinois Senate. And she's going to talk about what's going on legislatively in Illinois. Then at 107, we've got Jay Ashcroft. He's going to join us. He's going to talk to us about some stuff that's going on in Missouri. And then he's also going to talk to us about the Lincoln Day dinner, which he is going to be emceeing on... No, he's not going to be emceeing. And he's going to be emceeing. He is going to be the keynote speaker at the Lincoln Day dinner. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be who people go to see, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about that as well.
If you want to come see Jay Ashcroft and Annie and me, we will be there Friday. And I think if you go to 971talk.com/events, you can get tickets to that event on Friday. Come join all of us.
And then, finally, our YouTube live chat poll. Are you a Tucker Carlson fan? We'll find out. We'll see how much you've been paying attention. You have two answers, yes or no. And Annie is a big fan.
If you're in between, you're going to have to figure out one of the two. It's a binary choice. Just like an election minus the Green Party.
And your gender.
And your gender. It's not. That's not a binary choice. All right, so we're going to step away for a second here. Let Annie do her live, and we will be back in a second.
Thanks for tuning in.
Currently to mostly cloudy skies, couple of showers each day, but rainfall is light and limited. A lot of dry time, 65. This is 97.1 FM Talk, Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It seems like the last few years now, the violence, the hate, the anger is growing. I'm going to try to keep this as upbeat as possible, but to all the police officers, I want you to know we have your back. Not to forget about the fire or EMS, first responders, and definitely not our military. You all put your life on the line. I can't tell you. There's not a word I can say. Thank you is just not enough. And I believe 99.9% of Americans respect what you do. Do whatever you have to do to get back to your family during your shift. From my family to your family, and I think I can speak for overwhelming majority of overwhelming majority of human beings. Stay safe, and thank you for protecting us and doing what you need to do.
I want to talk to you about Stay Home Medical because this is a game changer for folks who are looking to have urgent care. Of course, that's something you need urgently. But what if the Stay Home Medical outfit came to you at your home or at your office? What if you realize, you know what, I think I'm coming down with something, or you think the family's coming down with something, or even more so, what if you need lab work done? I have an outstanding lab order right now from years ago that I didn't get done. Stay Home Medical will come to you at your home or your office and provide you those lab services that you need. They offer mobile phlebotomy services, and they can ease the burden of travel, long wait times, having to make an appointment, follow up on an appointment. They just come right to you. They are nurse practitioners who work under a collaborating physician that come to you, to your home or your office. It takes all of the stress and it gets you the results you need very quickly, and it is affordable. Call 314-944-3003 or visit them online at stayhomemedical.com.
The med spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the med spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Happy Monday. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk. Grateful that you are here with us. We appreciate you spending some of your time. It's been a busy morning in the media world. And no, it's not, announcements of the beginning of the 6th year of the Annie Frey Show in middays. That was supposed to be like the thing today. A reason to celebrate 5 years of the Annie Frey Show in middays as of yesterday. So I guess it's the proper day of celebration for us here over the course of the last 5 years being in middays. And as I'm moving through the morning, a couple things hitting the news airwaves, and one of them is quite earth-shaking. Listen to this.
News from within our Fox family. Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have mutually agreed to part ways. Tucker's last show was this past Friday. And starting tonight, Fox News Tonight will air live at 8 p.m. Eastern. It will be an interim show with rotating Fox News personalities until a new host is named. We want to thank Tucker Carlson for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a long-term contributor.
So Fox News and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. He has no shows remaining on Fox News. He is done at Fox. He wasn't fired, but they agreed to part ways. Those semantics are always probably a part of negotiation, depending on what the situation was that led into this parting of ways. I have a lot of theories about what is happening next with Tucker Carlson. I do not believe we have heard the last of him. And the question as to where he will go next from a media standpoint or potentially even a political standpoint, we will have to wait and see what kind of facts bear themselves out here in the coming days. Now, you might say, Andy, that's a massive news break. Tucker Carlson out at Fox News? Well, that's not it in the media world.
Some shocking news. Again, John, in the world of cable news, Don Lemon and CNN have parted ways. This is according to a memo that was sent out to CNN employees just moments ago. I'll read to you part of it, John. Actually, most of it. It says, CNN and Don have parted ways. Don will forever be a part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years. We wish him well, and we will be cheering him on in his future endeavors. And then it goes on to say that the network is committed to the morning show CNN This Morning, which, of course, is hosted or was hosted by Don Lemon, as well as Caitlin Collins and Poppy Harlow. Now, this statement is coming from CNN CEO Chris Licht. It does not detail what happened, what led to Don's departure, but Don Lemon is no longer with CNN, according to this memo that just went out to CNN employees, John.
So if you're listening to Oliver Darcy on CNN report the departure of Don Lemon, he too says that they have parted ways. And when you compare what he said about what Chris Licht, the head cheese over there at CNN, said about Don Lemon. He's always going to be an important part of the CNN family, yada, yada. And compare that to what Harris Faulkner said about Tucker Carlson, thanked him for his service and his many, many, many years of being a part of the Fox family. At least from the networks themselves, it seems as though there is some sort of amicable nature in the parting of ways. Don Lemon has spoken on his personal Twitter account regarding the departure. This is what Don Lemon tweeted 45 minutes ago. I was informed this morning by my agent that I have been terminated by CNN. I am stunned. After 17 years at CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly. At no time was I ever given any indication that I would not be able to continue to do the work I have loved at the network. It is clear that there are some larger issues at play. With that said, I want to thank my colleagues and the many teams I have worked with for an incredible run. They are the most talented journalists in the business, and I wish them all the best. So the parting of ways, at least in the Don Lemon sense here, seems to be that he was fired, or in Don Lemon's words, terminated. We don't have Tucker Carlson's words on what took place. We have what Fox has said, and we have what is being reported. But you got to say to yourself, what is afoot here? Our YouTube live chat poll today, which I am very curious. Our cross-section of listeners, of course, are going to be more conservative-leaning. How do you feel about Tucker Carlson? If you go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel in the live chat portion of the live video today, are you a Tucker Carlson fan, yes or no? Want to know what you think? And leave your comments. I guess you can also pontificate as to what is going to happen with Tucker next. There are people who believe he is running for the presidency. I'm curious if you would be excited for a Tucker Carlson presidency. I was speaking to somebody earlier today about it, earlier this morning, who is a diehard Donald Trump fan, like ultra MAGA. And I said, maybe he's going to run for president. And this person said to me, oh my gosh, that might make me have to vote for him over Trump. And I was like, okay, I didn't know that surface could crack. So who knows? Where do you think Tucker Carlson is going to land next? That's the question that I have. And with vacancies at CNN opening up, where is CNN headed? What is their direction? We've heard lots of reports over the last year or so that CNN is going to take a more news-focused direction. If you want to take maybe a more, not to pull a Fox News phrase, but a more fair and balanced approach, you don't take Tucker Carlson and put him on CNN and then move in a more newsy fashion. And before anybody is getting bent out of shape, I adore Tucker Carlson. Wherever he goes, I am going to watch him. I cannot express to you enough how important it is if you are somebody who is going to spend the time to go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote yes because you are a Tucker Carlson fan and you feel as though you want your voice to be heard today. He is going to go somewhere. He is going to do something. If it has to do with media, the face of media is changing by the minute. The way news is disseminated, the way free speech is being attacked in some places, upheld in some places, and the fearless people who are willing to speak in the face of great adversity, especially adversity that we never even see. Maybe that includes Don Lemon. Who knows? This all goes for Don Lemon, too. If you are distraught today that Tucker Carlson, or if you are distraught today that Don Lemon is out, and they turn to an alternative media source to continue their careers, you need to support them. We have grown up. I mean, I'm 39 years old. I've grown up with the understanding of having 3 nightly news channels. You know, your network television, your network news. It would come on in the evening. You'd watch the news, and that was the news. And then cable news came along, and then a host of different type of cable channels came along, and then they all became as polarized as they are today. And then the internet, in the midst of all of this, developed into a scenario where people don't have to be as adherent to a particular brand in order to be seen. There are many different avenues where people can write, where people can talk, where people can do video and be seen and have shows that can be consumable by those who value it. And I believe it's important for people to understand Tucker Carlson or Don Lemon alike, those might be two sides of the same coin for a lot of people. That if they go somewhere and they start to do something independently of a larger brand, that we now live in a time where that can individually be successful enough in order to perpetuate the existence of that product. If Tucker Carlson develops something new and you care about Tucker Carlson and his viewpoint being seen, we spend a lot of time on the conservative right talking about boycotts. It is the opposite antithesis of boycotting to see something that you like, see value in something and say, I am going to give this person my money because I want it to succeed. People say, Annie, Tucker Carlson doesn't need my money. It's not about that. It's not about the money that Tucker Carlson or anybody, that Don Lemon would post CNN, post Fox News, post big cable news. It's not about the money that they would continue to make. And if you're in the conservative right, who cares how much money they make? Do they have something that you value? Is it worth your dollar? I'll go into the Twitter thing right now as well. Elon Musk buys Twitter, in his words, for twice what it was worth. And we are talking billions of dollars when we are talking doubling what it's worth. Elon Musk goes and buys Twitter. The day that took place, I subscribed to Twitter Blue for the one main reason, because it allowed you to edit tweets. And I hate grammatical errors in my tweets. And it was worth it to me for $8 when Elon Musk puts his cash on the table for Twitter to do what I hoped he would do and what I think he has in large part done to Twitter, to instill the understanding, the value of free speech back in the public square that is that social medium. I said to myself, you know what? He wants to make Twitter Blue a thing. I want to be able to edit my tweets. There is something here of value. I'm going to pay the $8 a month. I had a blue check already. I didn't need a blue check. That's different. It was different in my mind than paying so that I could have a blue check behind my name. I really think that the implementation of Twitter Blue, the degradation of blue checks, I think it's been a royal mess. But the only reason why I'm still paying $8 a month, and have been since the day that Elon Musk bought it, is because I am so grateful that Elon Musk bought it. And I look around at conservatives whining about having to pay for something that they will, in those same sequential tweets, talk about how important it is that Elon Musk bought Twitter. He's trying to build something of value, and things of value cost money. I can see an instance where if you are somebody who, on the left or the right, values free speech, you should be paying $8 a month to Twitter to help make that thing a success. We are in a very interesting time right now. And you know, what little I know from my own personal experience about media contracts and the discussions and negotiations that go along with establishing a presence with a company, and, you know, understanding the world you get to work in if you have a contract, and all of these individuals we're talking about, Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson, have, I can't even imagine how many lawyers on both sides of those contracts going over the wordage that is in there, I should say the verbiage that's in there, the clauses that are put into place. So if Fox News pulls out, then ABC. If Tucker Carlson pulls out, then XYZ, so on and so forth. I cannot imagine a scenario where Tucker Carlson isn't under a non-compete. And if Tucker Carlson, based on what we know so far, it seems as though they could not come to an agreement, so they either dissolved the contract or maybe it didn't renew. According to Don Lemon, he was fired. So that might be different. But if there is a non-compete in play, I would imagine it's anywhere from 6 months to a year. And if you think about what is 6 months from now, That is essentially 1 year from the 2024 election, which means if Tucker Carlson is going to sit out for 6 months to serve out his non-compete, he's got 6 months to do stuff on his own in the confines of whatever that contract says he can do or can't do, assuming that they paid him whatever part of his contract is left, if that's even on the table. And in 6 months from now would be October 24th. That's a really important date for the 2024 election, 1 year out. If it's 1 year out that he has to sit out, if it would possibly be that long, then you'd see him coming back on the scene in April of 2024. Will he still be relevant then? I certainly think he will be. I think whatever Tucker Carlson decides to do in the interim, wherever he decides to go, I think he will have support. I'm not 100% sure his next stop is more media. I don't know. What do you think? Come join us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Vote in today's YouTube live chat poll. Are you a Tucker Carlson fan? Yes or no? Hannah, we've got some comments coming in right now.
Yeah, we have a ton.
Should we get to them when we come back?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We want to know what you think. What about the Tucker Carlson scenario? You can vote in the YouTube poll, but if you leave a comment, Hannah's spending her time here watching them come in, and we will feature some of your thoughts when we come back and, get to the bottom of where we think that this is headed. Don Lemon fired from CNN. Tucker Carlson and Fox News parting ways. Details yet to be delivered on that scenario. But we're going to cover it here on the Annie Frey Show today. Erica Harris, Illinois State Senator, in the 1 o'clock hour is going to join us about the mayor in Chicago addressing the General Assembly, and Jay Ashcroft, the Missouri Secretary of State, also in the 1 o'clock hour. Full show, but especially you and your comments when we come back. Don't go away.
I belong with you, you belong with me, my sweetheart. I belong with you, you belong with me, my sweetheart.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
So Stewart's American Mortgage, if you missed that Stewie interview that we did on Friday, oh my gosh, I got comments from people about that. I was playing that for some family members, and they were shocked to hear what the new Fed rule is about mortgage rates and about how the higher your credit score, the more likely that they're going to punish you. The Feds are going to punish you with a fee on your mortgage that is in turn going to be used to help subsidize loans for other folks. Stewie told me about this coming down the pipe like months ago. He is on the top of the mortgage game. And that's why he, knowing every nook and cranny of the mortgage business, created the bagel loan. The bagel loan is called the bagel loan because a bagel looks like a zero, and you're going to pay zero in lending fees and closing costs that every other lender out there is going to charge you for. He is doing everything he can in his power to make the buying experience as pleasant as he possibly can for you. Same with refinancing, and to save as much money for you as possible. Call him or text him at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440, and ask him about a bagel loan today. You can Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com, or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
97.1 FM Talk. You're here because ideas change the world. St. Louis's home for conservative talk. This is 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Monday. Big news day. And on the media front, it's weird when the news is about the news, which in some kind of way it always is, I suppose. But the news coming out of this morning, Tucker Carlson has parted ways with Fox News, and Fox News has parted ways with Tucker Carlson. Those are pretty much the details we have at this point in time. Publicly, so far, Fox News has been very cordial, I guess, about the parting of ways. We'll wait and see what Tucker Carlson has to say about it. Now, Don Lemon, on the other hand, has been terminated from CNN. On CNN, Oliver Darcy reported that they had parted ways, but then, Don Lemon went on to his Twitter and said that he had been terminated and that his agent told him. The network didn't even tell Don Lemon himself, and he was sad about that. So what happens next for these individuals? Today's YouTube live chat poll is, are you a Tucker Carlson fan? Yes or no? You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and in the live chat portion of today's live broadcast, where you can watch us right there on the cameras, you can vote in the live chat poll. And we've got a lot of people providing feedback coming back. Hannah, what are folks saying so far about the parting ways of Fox News and Tucker Carlson?
Angela Dunnigan from YouTube says, I'm shocked and sad that Tucker will no longer be a part of my evenings. I hope his what's next happens quickly. What the heck am I supposed to do at 7 o'clock every night?
I literally thought to myself immediately, it felt like I had lost somebody important in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, what am I going to do at that don't watch it at 7 o'clock, but I do watch a portion of Tucker almost every night.
Yeah.
That's time I've got back. Somebody else is going to have to earn that time away from my family. Tucker had done that, and I consider that for my family.
Steve from YouTube said that he is more of a Hannity and Laura watcher, never really got into Tucker. I do know that he really PO'd the left, more so than the others. Larry Har from Facebook said, I hope Tucker goes to Rumble where speech is free and the stock price goes up.
And get the stock price up? Ooh, yeah. I own Rumble stock.
Yeah, I own if it goes up
I own
too.
3 shares or something. I don't even know. It's been so long because every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is sad.
It's the Annie Frey show, the Rumble stock magnet here.
This is 100% in no way, shape, or form stock advice. If you take advice from me, that's the stupidest thing you could do. My stock advice is don't listen to anything that I say, but I own 1 share of Rumble stock. And it's up 4.84% today.
Wow.
Oh, it's $9.09.
Ooh.
Andy K from our YouTube channel says, not sure where, but someone will give him a show. He's too popular, and while not totally honest, he's never been canceled or Me Too'd. He still has some life to him. He also thinks that Tucker will host an online show or podcast. DeSoto Mike from our YouTube channel says he was one of the only reasons to keep watching Fox. Sherry from YouTube said, I will follow Tucker wherever he goes. I will most likely stop watching Fox News. What stupidity on their part. So she's pretty upset that Tucker is no longer with Fox. Carlos says that he is not a Tucker Carlson fan. He always sounds like he's trying to sound like O'Reilly, and he is just not a fan of him.
That's interesting because if you watch Jesse Waters and you know that Jesse Waters was a lead producer, if not the executive producer of Bill O'Reilly's show, you really understand, like, Jesse Waters is Bill O'Reilly minus 40 years, probably.
Yeah.
I think Jesse Waters is probably early 40s.
Hmm.
Bill O'Reilly is not 80. There's at least 30 years in between them. But Jesse Waters' mannerisms, his delivery, and everything is very Bill O'Reilly. But how long has Bill O'Reilly been off of Fox News?
I have no idea.
Do you know who Bill O'Reilly is?
Mm-mm.
That's my point.
Jesse Waters is 44.
44, and Bill O'Reilly is 73. So 30 years. But yeah, his departure from Fox News was a big deal, but that was, Hannah, like more of a Me Too thing. And he was the big guy. He was, everybody watched Bill O'Reilly. When Bill O'Reilly left, it was like, oh my gosh, how could they ever possibly replace the O'Reilly factor? And Tucker Carlson came in, and I like Tucker Carlson more than, Bill O'Reilly was more my parents' generation in how he delivered things. Tucker feels more like my generation. What will be next? I don't know. But regardless of that, unless some details come out that we don't know about, I'll go find Tucker where he goes and hopefully be able to support him.
Grant from our YouTube channel says, I only said no, I'm not a Tucker fan because I don't actually watch his show. I have loved hearing the clips from his show, though. David E. Smith from our YouTube channel says, Tucker was very bold in tackling the transgender issue as well as other woke problems we see in our society. I now have little use for Fox News channel.
Sean just messaged the Annie Frey Show Facebook page and said, I think Tucker is going to run for president and Lemon will be his VP.
Oh, okay.
That's
bold. Yeah, this is a bold strategy.
That could be 50% true.
DIY from YouTube says, Lemon and Carlson should do an Ebony and Ivory show.
I think that's as likely as the 2024 ticket. Probably not.
Bree from our Twitch page, or Brian from our Twitch page says, I'm a huge Tucker Carlson fan. Fox will regret this. KK said Newsmax is a baby Fox, so he does not think that Tucker will go with them. Mike Elam says,
Mike!
Yeah. Happy birthday, Mike. It's his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Mike says, we record Tucker each night. Guess we'll have an open slot now in our evening.
That's going to be a big deal for people. And again, I reiterate, the O'Reilly factor, him leaving was supposed to crash Fox News. It didn't. It brought us Tucker. Does that mean Fox News is going to be dead to you? For some people, maybe it will be. I am interested to know more details. I don't know if we know enough information yet.
I mean, like, does it change your mind if the report is that they've parted ways and they did it mutually?
That's what that is their report.
Right. If that's what the report is, if it turns out that's true and that's not just a cover, does that change the way you feel toward Fox?
I guess it's worth mentioning, but I'm going to pull it back up here. Tucker Carlson's. I looked at this before the show and I was like, has this always been this way? Someone needs to do like one of those rollback things so you can see the history. But Tucker Carlson's Twitter profile says Emmy award-winning broadcast journalist, graduate of Harvard College and Yale Law School, frequent visitor to Aspen Institute, fully vaccinated, she/hers with a Ukraine flag. So he's either been he's either been hacked. Before I didn't slip. He's either been hacked or he's trolling people, or maybe that's been his Twitter profile for 3 years and I just never cared to look at what it was. So, what do you think, Brad? What's your reaction to all of this?
I'm not sure. Like, whenever I think about this, yeah, I don't, like I said, I wasn't the person that has the spot set aside for Tucker Carlson at night, but I did enjoy what I heard of his show, and I would listen to it whenever it was on and stuff like that. But I'm of the mind that he's going to go to an independent streaming platform. I think Tucker wants to be Tucker, and I don't think Tucker Carlson actually kind of fit Fox News, because there's some stuff that Tucker went into that is not. It was, if Fox News leans conservative, I would say Tucker Carlson leans more nationalism. And I think there are some areas that Tucker Carlson would like to explore more. So I could see him going to like a Rumble and doing a Tucker Carlson show on Rumble that is just allowed him to be him. No worry about FCC or anything like that.
I could be wrong about this, but I don't think that a person of Tucker Carlson's caliber goes to Rumble. I think that is beneath him. What he will reach on Rumble compared to what he was reaching nightly on Fox News, it would be a fraction of it. That doesn't mean that Rumble isn't a part of the future of what he's doing. But you may or may not know that Tucker Carlson created the Daily Caller. And he has established successful media outlets previously. He knows how to go about doing that. He has connections all over the world. And the idea that he is going to just, he's the head guy. Mm-hmm. There is nobody in conservative-oriented media at Tucker Carlson, as of Friday, at Tucker Carlson's level. Would you disagree with that?
No, there's nobody.
There's nobody.
No.
The Sean Hannity has carved out the Sean Hannity lane to the point where that rut that Sean Hannity is in, you can jump in that with him and out of that, but it's always going to be the Hannity lane. It's his baby. I really have watched Laura Ingraham more lately because I feel like she gets more towards the heart of the matter and less about some of the things that I feel are the mainstream arguments that happen that I don't ever feel bear any fruit. Like every night, it's the same slap fight. That's kind of the way it feels on Hannity to me. I feel like Laura Ingraham, I feel like her focus is about getting this country back on track. And I haven't always been the biggest Laura Ingraham fan. For me, she wasn't always my cup of tea, but I've really kind of changed that in the last 2 or 3 months. So I guess she'll get more of my time. Wherever, well, I guess I said this to Brad. I was just going to keep this off the air because I don't know. I don't know why. I tell Brad a lot of my predictions so that I can, if I'm right down the line and I call my shot like way in advance, then I can be like, Brad, see, I said that. And he can be like, you did say that, instead of being like, I knew this was going to happen.
It's like writing it down and sealing it in an envelope.
Sure you did, Annie. Sure you did. What if Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson are the new prime time for CNN in 6 months, 1 year from the election?
Oh, man. That completely changes CNN. Like, from top to bottom, it completely changes CNN and what their mission and their model is.
Who's the other guy in prime time right now?
It's not Jake
Tapper.
Jake Tapper.
Yes. Jake Tapper is, to me, like a broken clock.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while he says something, I'm like, Mr. Tapper,
look at you.
Look at you. I agree with you, Mr. Tapper. I don't want to watch a show, though.
No.
I don't know. Can you have a network that has a Jake Tapper and a Tucker Carlson and a Megyn Kelly? Because Megyn Kelly, to me, like when I'm looking at Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson, there are Republicans who are in power who can't stand them. There are Republican voters who can't stand them. And there are leftists who love them.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't necessarily vote the same way all the time with him. I don't know enough about Jake Tapper to say one way or the other, but to me, he always seemed to be he was the closest to having his feet solid on the ground.
Mm-hmm. I think it makes your station or your network seem more balanced, especially if you're going to get somebody like Tucker Carlson on there after the way you've had like Brian Stelter on there or Don Lemon on there.
A name given to him by Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
The sweet irony of all of that, Don Lemon.
It balances that station out. And then Megyn Kelly is her own, did I say that right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Megyn Kelly. She's her own thing as well, her own
She's
person
a show.
as well.
She's got a show on Sirius Radio.
Yeah, I think it adds more credibility and balance to a CNN. And that might be just what the doctor ordered for them.
I'll tell you what, we're a Fox News Radio affiliate station here. We get to have Fox News guests on here. I love our relationship. I love being a Fox News Radio affiliated station. I don't know the details behind Tucker Carlson and his departure. I've had people, I've had listeners comment to me about wanting to know my thoughts on the Dominion lawsuit because they think that I'm that I have anything to do with Fox News and they're I don't. It's flattering. I get accused of being on social media of being one of those. I mean, people will literally say one of those Fox News bimbos. This is just amazing stuff from the left because I'm a young female who has blondish colored hair. Hannah, brace yourself. It's coming.
Oh, great. Add that to the list.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable how the people don't spend any time to get to the facts. But the number one thing that we need is competition in our media sources so that the truth wins. And that if there is somebody out there who is actively working on investigating and exposing truth, especially right now, when originally what I had planned on talking about for the beginning of the show was the whistleblower on the IRS scandal surrounding President Biden's son, but also the 9+ people that have benefited from Hunter Biden's actions. And the fact that tomorrow, Joe Biden is supposed to, in a recorded message, announce that he is running again for the presidency. If it's Biden versus Trump, and they are both under criminal investigations, running for president, we need truth, fearless truth, now more than we ever have before. And I'll take it from anywhere I can get it. Still on Fox News with people who I trust there. I'll take it from CNN. If there's something on CNN that I can trust, cares more about exposing truth than some sort of agenda. And I'm looking over at CNN out of the side of my eyes and thinking about nearly every single person who they've had over there responsible for delivering news and news reaction that was highly, ignorantly leftist-centered. They're running out of folks. They're going to have to do something. So I guess we hold on tight. The YouTube live chat poll for today. Got to know what you think about this. Hannah just read a bunch of comments. Maybe give us one more here before we go to the break, and people can go on to the Annie Frey YouTube channel right now and vote and comment as well. Leave your comment, and Hannah will read it for us. We'll get to them several times throughout the show. Give us one more here before we
Doug
break.
Ferguson from YouTube says, yes, I'm a Tucker Carlson fan. He was one of the only few newsmen that he trusted.
Well, we are going to have to wait and see what happens next. And as news continues to break throughout the day on this, if we get any more news on Tucker Carlson or Don Lemon, we will be sure to bring it to you throughout the show. We're going to take a break because Wiggins America is going to catch us up from what we missed this weekend in his Monday roundup. And in the 1 o'clock hour, Illinois State Senator Erica Harris and then Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft join us. So do not go away. We'll be right back.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
So I want to talk to you about getting summer ready, but more so than that, getting healthy and doing it with Slim 180. Go to myslim180.com to learn about the different programs that they have. But their Regenerate program, semaglutide, you've probably heard about this. This is the very popular drug that has been used lately to help people lose weight. If you go to Slim 180, go to myslim180.com, you can get it there so much more reasonably than you can at a pharmacy. The Regenerate program is going to help guide you through this weight loss using that medication that many people have used to, it's making the news every single day, lose the weight. MySlim180.com is the website, and connect with them and mention the Annie Frey Show when you do. You're going to want to do that because you're going to save if you do. Let's talk about their Crave program. It has phentermine involved in it to help you lose the weight and help curb your appetite for better success. And they also have a nutritional guidance program, which involves one-on-one counseling, individualized attention, and it helps clients reach their own goals with accountability and a trained professional to help with that weight loss. Go to myslim180.com, and when you connect with them, be sure to mention the Annie Frey Show and save. Go to myslim180.com.
Need help in marketing, sales, technology, or leadership? If so, then you'll want to be at the St. Louis Business Expo on May 10th. It's the largest B2B event in Missouri, and we've lined up 17 different seminars with leaders in those fields. Plus, you can get your questions answered directly with our Ask the Experts section. Join us at the St. Charles Convention Center May 10th from 11 to 5 for the St. Louis Business Expo. It's where great business relationships start, and it's all free. Just register right now at stlexpo.com.
If you love eating out, let me introduce you to Satchmo's Bar and Grill. Mark Cox here from my friends at Satchmo's. They have daily lunch and dinner specials. They're a from-scratch kitchen with food and cocktails, and they have weekly specials. Wagyu meatloaf on Monday nights, steak night on Wednesdays, burger night for just $6.95 on Thursdays, and plenty of flat-screen TVs to catch the big game. Check them out on Facebook or online at satchmosgrill.com at Olive in 141.
Worldwide Technology, recognized as a great place to work for 12 years in a row, is hosting a supply chain career event on April 29th at their North American Integration Center in Edwardsville, Illinois, to connect with skilled professionals in the technology production and supply chain industries to fill dozens of roles. Positions include warehouse specialists and managers, production supervisors, configuration techs, and more. These jobs come with competitive pay, industry-leading benefits that even include your pets, and an award-winning culture with career development that gives you options to grow. Learn more and apply online at wwt.com/careers.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
Did you know St. Louis leads the nation in rounding up at our local McDonald's restaurants? That small change can make a big difference by supporting the building of a new local Ronald McDonald House. Please learn more at rmhcstl.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service offers insulation services. Did you know 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated? Increase your energy savings and comfort with better insulation. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
Mining for truth in a landscape of BS. 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show.
You got a reaction. You got a reaction, didn't you? You took a run on
Wiggins! Oh! Monday Roundup! Takes you a little off guard, doesn't it? You're expecting the regular one, but
So
it's a
get
Monday
used to it.
Roundup. There we go. So hello, everybody, and welcome to Monday. I think I said everybody. The first story over the weekend that maybe you missed is about unemployment. It is going up, unfortunately. It's jumped about 5,000 from the previous week, and the week before that, it's up over 61,000 claims to its highest level since 2021, November of 2021. But it hasn't budged in certain states. Do you want to take a guess as to which states are doing the best and which states are doing the worst?
Florida.
Florida is kind of in the middle, actually.
Yeah.
No, it's actually one of the better. I'm sorry. I miss Florida. Connecticut, Indiana, Nevada.
I miss Florida, too.
Kansas, Florida, Rhode Island, Louisiana, South Carolina had very little change. The states, you might find a theme here that did have a big change. Well, District of Columbia is used in there. Oregon, Washington, California, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Michigan, and then Texas actually did make the list. So these are the states that are having the worst time with unemployment. There's a bit of a theme there. I don't know if you can find it. It's kind of tough, but they do seem to be the bluer of the states. So that's the first story that you may have missed this weekend. Whip
Getting
crack
better.
And moving on. Now this one is one I really did want to discuss with you guys because it is a surprise.
Did you not want to discuss the other one? Were we supposed to be quiet?
I did. I was just sort of seeing if you saw the theme, which I figured you did in those states, that they're mostly blue states.
Womp womp.
I like how he's always trying to educate the class.
Yeah. Did you see it? Because if you didn't, I'll tell you what it is. Here, this story is out of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The Texas Senate
Red
on
state.
Thursday, they are a red state, passed a bill that would require the prominent display of the Ten Commandments in public school classrooms. And it has reignited a debate over the role of religion in schools and parental rights.
Require?
It would require the
I understand.
prominent display.
I think they should permit it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I landed.
Yeah, I think requiring is going to get struck down in court.
And it's not, I don't know that it's necessary. I don't know that it's good. I mean, I'm a Ten Commandment supporter.
Yeah.
Go on the record as that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see all the flags and stuff that people put in their classrooms, and there's definitely, here's something I support that I want to share with you. Put those 10 Commandments up there. I think you should be allowed to do that. And kids should be allowed to disagree with them.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that they're encouraging discussion of something like the Ten Commandments by making sure that teachers would know that they could display the Ten Commandments. I mean, in this case, they're going to have to. If it passes, it's headed to the House right now. Don't know if it'll pass. But it's a little bit surprising that it would require the display. But there's something about the Ten Commandments that I mean, obviously, I don't think any of us are debating whether or not we support the Ten Commandments. I think we all do. But
in this room, but that's not everybody.
In this room, we do. But in my school district, I see a lot, and there's a name for them. I can't remember. It's something like the values of our school or something like that. And the whole district will display the same value of that month.
Just to put up one of those stupid signs that people. I'm sorry. If you
No, please.
If you people have in this room have these signs in your house,
I already know what live, laugh, love.
No.
But
in
worse,
the school.
In this house,
yeah,
we love hard. We hug. It just needs to say, in this classroom, we shall have no other gods. In this classroom,
Yes.
we honor the authority of the teacher. In this classroom, we will not have adulterous thoughts. I don't.
We will not steal.
Yeah, and just be like, guys, it's trendy. I got it from Hobby Lobby.
I got it at a craft market.
I'm gonna go right back. I'm gonna go create that right now and start selling it at Hobby Lobby because teachers are gonna buy that.
So the values that they share, like district wide in my district, there'll be things like value of the month, have compassion. And there's nothing wrong with those things, but they carry no weight. To me, putting the 10 Commandments in the room, that carried to me as a kid, even if I were to see something that was like, oh, God's behind that, I would
Yeah, but if you don't
respect
believe
it.
but it's all about what you think is the authority.
Yeah.
And whether you respect it or not. If people don't know God or have God, they're not going to respect it.
No, but having them there as a kid who did at least respect them, it was a reminder to me when I would see them, because I actually would see that kind of stuff in classrooms even when I was a kid.
In public school?
In public school at times. Maybe it was just the teacher's display. I don't know if it was officially sanctioned by the school, But I would see that stuff.
But you understood the 10 Commandments because of how you were raised, not because you were exposed to them in school.
Yes.
If you weren't raised that way, I mean, I'm like I said, I think that a teacher should be able to put that up in their classroom if they want to, because of the current rules that are in place where people put other things that they believe in and worship at the altar of in their classrooms. But I would maybe even consider saying no 10 Commandments and no flags of every which way, BLM flags and pride flags and whatever is it the pride flag that always keeps changing? Is that the pride flag or is that called something else?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's always changing.
The rainbow flag.
That's the thing. It's more than a rainbow. Like that, I don't know. Every time I see it, it's got like 42 stripes on it.
Yeah.
I think they're up to 42 states.
Well, one way or the other, I do support, though. I like the idea that we're even talking about this because maybe it does get shaved down as it goes through the process. But then we're talking about at least, hey, you can put this in your schools. Last story. Residents living in more than a dozen U.S. states have the chance to see the Northern Lights Sunday thanks to recent activity of the sun. The question, of course, will be, can we see them last night and tonight? The answer is barely no. We're just outside. So if you want to start right now and drive north.
I thought it was just last night.
It was last night and tonight, apparently. If you want to drive north and get up to around Chicago.
Are you sure it's still tonight before you send our listeners to Chicago to see the Northern Lights?
It's tonight. It's yesterday night and tonight.
Go see the Northern Lights on the south side of Chicago. It'll be beautiful. Speaking of, the new mayor of Chicago addressed the General Assembly in the state of Illinois. Is that a normal thing to do? Does the mayor of Chicago affect the entire state? Well, Illinois State Senator Erica Harris, and also my state senator, joins us when we come back to discuss. Don't go away.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Frey, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for their next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, May 16th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online to retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you can afford to retire? Or do you worry about surviving the next market crash? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free and protect your nest egg from many more losses and provide more income than most investment options? Would you like to know how linking to the market instead of owning the market is so much safer for your retirement savings? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, May 16th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
There are a lot of rules and laws and regulations when it comes to owning and operating firearms in the state of Illinois, but that certainly doesn't mean you can't do it. You just need to make sure that if you have questions about it, you have a go-to place that can provide you the answers in a very helpful way. And that's STS Armory. That's the place that the Frey family goes. STS Armory is available in Pontoon Beach, just the corner of Highway 111 and South Drive. This is a family-owned and operated business, and they are top-notch on knowing the latest occurrences and Supreme Court cases and so on and so forth about what it means to conceal and carry in the state of Illinois, to have a FOID card in the state of Illinois. You don't have to know anything when you walk into the store and start asking questions. They will treat you with respect. They have with me because I ask a ton of questions as well as others in my family. If you know exactly what you need, exactly what you want, if you need to get your class back to renew your conceal and carry permit, they can help you because they have the best education around. 618-931-GUNS in Pontoon Beach, online at sts-armory.com.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
There's more riding on Metro Transit than people. Metro Transit helps move our economy. If you're a people person looking to change careers, join our team. You may qualify for a signing bonus too. We are conducting on-site interviews this Saturday, April 29th at the Brentwood Metro Bus Facility, located at 3000 South Brentwood, St. Louis. Metro Transit offers good health and retirement benefits, so stop by to get your career and our local economy moving. For more info, visit workatmetrostl.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
How to get more Americans out of Sudan. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. After embassy personnel were evacuated over the weekend.
At the president's direction, we are actively facilitating the departure of American citizens who want to leave Sudan, as the State Department has been urging them to do for years.
National Security Council advisor Jake Sullivan says U.S. intelligence assets have been deployed to support land evacuation routes private U.S. citizens are using. The U.S. military flying unmanned drones over a UN convoy that Americans have joined.
The U.S. military is also setting up an international naval task force off the coast of Port Sudan to help assist foreigners and Americans trying to leave.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. An estimated 16,000 Americans live in Sudan, but many are dual nationals who have never lived in the U.S. It's not clear how many want to leave as fighting continues there. Even more dangerous than the Cold War. That take from Russia's foreign minister at a UN Security Council meeting faced with continued international condemnation over its war in Ukraine. Russia's also under pressure to free detained Americans.
Paul Whelan was set up by the Russian security services, the FSB.
Elizabeth Whelan speaking outside the UN and demanding the release of her brother, Paul, noting that the same investigator is behind the more recent case against journalist Evan Gershkovich, both men denying espionage charges. Top advisor to President Biden, Susan Rice, is stepping down next month after 2 years leading the president's domestic agenda. She also served in the Obama administration.
As the only person to serve as both national security advisor and domestic policy advisor, Susan's record of public service makes history.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre thanking Rice for her service. The announcement coming just ahead of a possible re-election bid by the president. America is listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-838-2626. That's 800-838-2626. 800-838-2626.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Plenty of sunshine around town as we go through our Monday afternoon. Temperatures a little bit better, but still below average, 62. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies. On the chilly side, though not as cold, 42 Tuesday. Partly sunny, 62. Wednesday and Thursday, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Couple of showers each day, but rainfall is light and limited. A lot of dry time, 65. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Shows that make a difference. Mark Cox, Brian Kilmeade, Annie Frey, Mark Reardon and Dana Lash, Heidi Harris, Wiggins America. Where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
When children were being fatally injured by window blind cords, Honor Law took on the manufacturers to have dangerous cords banned.
Call Onder Law Personal Injury Lawyers at 314 or 618 $9 million.
Shopping at the Diamond Shop is smart business. They're in Clayton. My husband and I went this weekend and enjoyed their estate sale event. Man, it was so cool to see some of these pieces that they had featured at the Diamond Shop in Clayton, to see just really some historic things that have been curated and put together. Beautiful, beautiful jewelry. But we also got to walk around the shop too and see some of the things that the Diamond Shop features every day. Beautiful, beautiful multicolored pearls, natural pearls that are stunning. Absolutely beautiful. They also have a bunch of what they're calling east to west necklaces that are kind of what the pendant or whatever it is kind of sideways. There's a cross necklace there. It's like the one that I would wear a lot, and I got my eyes on it. My husband, I told him, I said, that's the one right there. I love shopping at the Diamond Shop. It is a family-owned and operated business. And if you were looking for Mother's Day gifts right now, I want you to calculate the cost of flowers, maybe dinner, another gift on the side, a card and everything, gift wrapping. You can buy something for under $100 right now at the Diamond Shop that's going to last forever. Go and get something as special as she is this Mother's Day season and tell them Annie sent you. You can become a VIP online at thediamondshop.net.
Diamonds Direct's biggest sale all year is going on now with an extra 20% savings, an expanded selection, in-store designer appearances, and special financing. Imagine 20% off Diamonds Direct's already value prices on rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry, and thousands of engagement ring mountings. Meet the designers who've flown in with all new collections for spring. It's the most exciting event all year with extreme savings and exceptional value. Don't miss this once-a-year jewelry extravaganza. Details, showroom hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Recently been noticing for about the last year or two that there's warnings on TV before you watch a movie. It says something, it'll say something like involves violence, smoking, alcohol, language. There was one that was about fear. I have to ask you, what the hell is that crap all about? Kind of leads me into where I know you're all thinking this has nothing to do with heating and air conditioning, but it actually does. Point I'm trying to make, I'm looking for customers that need their furnace or air conditioner fixed, that they don't want to be bamboozled, scammed, or lied to. If you're that way, you are definitely my customer. I will shoot you straight. Call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600, or you can do the internet thing. It's bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I, and of course, .com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together millions of things for our planet. Switch to eco-friendly cleaning products and spend more time outside to make every day Earth Day. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Yeah, they're destroying opportunity in their own communities. That's the biggest problem I have with this. That's the biggest problem with I have with Brandon Johnson talking about these people are rioting because they've been starved of opportunity. Well, who the hell starved them of opportunity? Who's been running this state for a generation? Democrats got a supermajority in both chambers of the General Assembly. They got the most radical governor in the nation. They've had almost every governor over the past decade and a half. Who's robbing these people of opportunities? Start asking that. Start asking that to these people when they come in and whine and complain about our communities are being starved. They're being starved because they've perpetuated public policy that has literally starved their own people.
Well, that's Illinois State Representative Blaine Willauer, a frequent guest on this show and a friend of mine, talking about what people need to understand. Some of the sources of the problems that politicians will go on the campaign trail and try to use the campaign trail to point out issues that need to be addressed and then to turn that into a solution that they'll provide. The same cycle over and over and over again in the state of Illinois. And in this last cycle, this last election cycle, the blue state of Illinois got even bluer. Erica Harris is an anomaly to that. She ran a very strong, smart campaign, and she was campaigning to be the state senator for Illinois' 56th district, and that's my state senate district, which means Erica Harris, when she won and took a blue seat in the state senate and turned it red, she became my Republican state senator. And I'm very excited to have my friend Erica Harris back on the show here with us. Erica, welcome back. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Annie. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, as I understand it, Brandon Johnson, the mayor-elect, I'm not even sure when he becomes the official mayor. That hasn't happened yet, right?
No, that hasn't happened yet. He's still the mayor-elect for a little while longer, but he did come and address the legislature last week.
And so when you have a mayor from Chicago come to the General Assembly, maybe this is normal practice. It certainly is. It's about almost 2/3 of the population of the state rests in the Chicago area. What was his overarching message to the General Assembly about what the Johnson administration was going to bring to this gigantic city in the state of Illinois?
Well, Annie, I think I'm more concerned about what he did not address than what he did address. He didn't talk about crime, didn't really talk about finances, saw no real leadership plan. Obviously, we know that Chicago has a great economic impact on our entire state. And it sounds like the plan he has is going to require quite a bailout from downstate. And I didn't hear a lot of how we were going to be helping the rest of Illinois rather than simply Chicago.
Sure. So the mayor-elect, Brandon Johnson, comes and says, we need help from the state of Illinois. I've been, there are people who have talked over the course of time about the separation of Chicago from the state of Illinois. I think that the people who do that don't understand how valuable Chicago is or could be to the entire state. But if they're looking for help and for financial bailout from the people who are also suffering from the consequences of how blue they have made the state of Illinois, what kind of help could the rest of the state of Illinois possibly provide the city of Chicago?
His plan did not really address what he was going to do about crime. Obviously, the reputation of Chicago is the reputation of Illinois as well, right? And so what we're seeing in the national news, I know you've been watching too, is every single weekend there's violence erupting in the city, right? So people are not going to come to Illinois with that kind of violence. And I didn't hear a plan for that. In fact, he later was talking about some of the violence that had happened. It was kids being, quote, silly. So, I think it's kind of an embarrassment, not just for Chicago, but for all of Illinois. And, Illinois is a diverse state with a lot to offer. In the future, I really hope that the Democratic majority is able to give the same attention and prioritization of giving to Chicago, to downstate communities like ours. Him coming to speak to both the Senate and the House is not something that typically happens. I mean, our mayors have never been up for any type of event like that, especially before they elected. I think the last person that was there actually was Obama, and that was when he was the president to address the joint session. So, it's not something typical. Again, being an advocate for the Upper East here, I would love to see some attention given here. And I didn't hear a real plan in his speech. Instead, it was kind of progressive talking points. And, we just spent an entire joint session listening to a mayor talk about the needs of Chicago. And we really haven't seen that attention ever paid downstate.
Right. Erica Harris joining us right now. She's the Illinois State Senator for the 56th District. You do represent a large portion of the Metro East, and I think to myself about concerns that I have as a resident in the state of Illinois. And I'm wondering, when you bring, first of all, what are the concerns that you're bringing to the state Senate? You're sitting in a super minority, so people don't even really have to entertain, provide you the attention because the Republicans are so powerless in the General Assembly. But it still gives you the opportunity to speak up and really not much to lose because your voice is really the majority of the power that you have in the state Senate. What kind of concerns do you have coming from the Metro East that you would like the state Senate to take up?
I think we have a very suburban concern, right? We're downstate Illinois, yet we're still so close here to St. Louis that we also want safe communities and good schools for our families, to be a business-friendly environment. And those have been really where my heart has been and things that I've been advocating for. I am in the super minority, but that's where relationships matter. So that's where I'm reaching across the aisle and meeting with legislators on the other side. I have a bill. It's a bill that would have our schools begin to recognize constitutionally. That's something that I perceived was pretty bipartisan. I introduced it in the Senate. Amy Ellick introduced it in the House. Hers has come over to the Senate now, and I'm carrying it there, and actually went and with some of the state legislators of, the other side and said, hey, this should be a bipartisan bill. Will you, sponsor or co-sponsor with me to try and be able to move items forward that shouldn't really be partisan issues, could help not just our community, but our entire state to, have schools recognize Constitution Day and make sure that our students are being taught that. So
Illinois State Senator Erica Harris with us on that Constitution Day bill that she, along with her colleague in the Illinois State House, Representative Amy Ellick of the 111th over there in Alton, have come together to put this as a priority. I think that's fantastic. She's at the 56th district. Before we let you go, Erica, I want to know, going forward, we're very close to a full-blown election year already, if you can even imagine that, because you probably feel like you just got your breath from the last one. But the presidential election is 561 days away. And the Republicans in the state of Illinois, whatever kind of Republicans we're talking about, downstate Republicans, Chicago Republicans, yes, they exist. If the Republicans in this state want to move away from being in a super minority and move into a position of being able to influence the General Assembly more so than a visiting mayor-elect who gets the privilege to have that opportunity to speak to that super majority of Democrats in the General Assembly. What do you want to see from voters, from concerned citizens right now and in the coming months to make sure that Republicans do put up a solid, fair fight?
Well, Annie, I think part of it is about consensus building. We all have a certain hill we want to die on, but it's stepping back and looking at the entire landscape, not just that specific issue. So I think it's taking a step back, recognizing we are currently in the super minority, and so we are going to maybe have to have a different tactic to move forward and figure out a way to build consensus so that we can get support across the aisle as well to be able to make things happen.
I think you're right on that. I think you're spot on. Erica Harris, thank you so much for coming on with us today, and congratulations on the progress you've made on that Constitution Day bill. I think that's an important one that needs to be identified and upheld in the classroom, and I think that's a really great step in order to doing that. If people want to stay in contact with you or reach out to you or learn about what you're doing in the state Senate, where do you direct them to go?
SenatorEricaHarris.org.
Perfect. Well, we will post that as well. Thank you so much for coming on the show with us, Erica. We appreciate your time and look forward to connecting with you again. Thanks. You. Bye-bye. Erica Harris, Illinois State Senator of the 56th District. Man, it's easy to say this outside of an election season because the primary will happen first. And it will be a less dramatic year in the state of Illinois because we just had all of our big races outside. We go on the midterms is when we elect our governor and when we elect all of our statewide offices. Do you know there's not a Republican that holds a single statewide office? There is not a Republican. There's not a Republican in government in the state of Illinois that has influence. And people like Erica Harris, who are there fighting the good fight to be heard and to represent the people in her district. When you're in the super minority of the Illinois State Senate, if you're in the super minority of the Illinois State House, when you don't hold a single statewide position, it's important right now before people start getting into the primary to think about what is the ultimate goal here. Because we as a party need to understand that we can't affect or change anything if we don't win some of these elections. And there's a lot of jockeying that goes on in Illinois in a primary. In a super blue state like this, you're going to see people on the right try to outright one another, try to out-conservative one another. In Missouri, we're going to definitely see a lot of jockeying for some of those main statewide positions that are going to become available. The Governor Parson is termed out, and there are people who are going to be running for governor on the Republican side of the ticket. Jay Ashcroft, as I understand it, is one of them, and he is the Secretary of State of the state of Missouri. Interestingly enough, he is going to be the keynote speaker at the Madison County, Illinois, Lincoln Day dinner this Friday night. I will be emceeing the event. Jay Ashcroft will be the keynote speaker there. And I'm very curious to hear what a guy coming from a super red state has to say to people that are neighboring right across the river in a super blue state. Because I think what people are looking for is hope. And the end of that hope isn't that Illinois is going to turn into the reddest of red states. I think that would be a crazy pipe dream. But being able to have voices on both sides of the aisle be heard represents the people of the state. And you look at the election in Chicago and you got to ask yourself, does Brandon Johnson represent the people of Chicago? Well, he represents the people who showed up to vote for him, and that's what counts. How do we have an impact on our elections in 2024? We get great candidates and we support them. And we got a lot of work to do on the Illinois side of the river. Jay Ashcroft is going to join us on the Annie Frey Show when we come back, so do not go away. Big news of the day. Before the show started, we found out that Fox News and Tucker Carlson have parted ways. Maybe you haven't heard that yet, but Tucker Carlson has done his last show on Fox News last Friday. They have gone their separate ways. According to Fox News, seems to be like a mutual parting of ways and not a termination. Sometimes you find out later the details are a little different and the semantics have been ironed out. On CNN, they said the same thing, a mutual parting of ways with Don Lemon. Don Lemon tweets that he'd been terminated. They told his agent, and his agent told him. What's going on in the media? Well, we want to know what you think. The YouTube live chat poll for today is, are you a Tucker Carlson fan? Yes or no? You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel in today's live video, in the live chat. You go vote in the poll, and we will feature your comments throughout the rest of the show. Back with Jay Ashcroft in a minute.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Building a home on the Illinois side of the river, I understand why you would want to, because it's a wonderful place to live. It's got its quirks, but that's where I make my home. If you've been thinking about building a home, you need to check out cajones.com. I adore their website, cajonesinc.com. I was on it yesterday, playing around with their Design Your Own Home tool, where you can pick different layouts. You can design and modify the layouts online. You can to the shingles and the shutters and the masonry and the siding and everything, take those different layouts and then customize it so it looks exactly how you would want it to look. cajonesinc.com. They have a 10-year builder limited warranty, including a lifetime waterproof basement warranty. And they also have the largest inventory of new construction homes for sale on their website. They are also Energy Star certified, and they care deeply about making sure that those energy efficiencies that are going to help save you money down the road, that they are there as in a part of your house. If you're looking to build, and especially if you are military, first responder, veterans, active, they have specials on new home solar and remodels for you. cajonesinc.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Worldwide Technology, recognized as a great place to work for 12 years in a row, is hosting a supply chain career event on April 29th at their North American Integration Center in Edwardsville, Illinois, to connect with skilled professionals in the technology production and supply chain industries to fill dozens of roles. Positions include warehouse specialists and managers, production supervisors, configuration techs, and more. These jobs come with competitive pay, industry-leading benefits that even include your pets, and an award-winning culture with career development that gives you options to grow. Learn more and apply online at wwt.com/careers.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Today's random fact. Armadillos are the only mammals with shells. There you have it.
Well, it's a very simple random fact of the day, straight and to the point.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
First touch of summer, she's got your t-shirt on. Sun's going down.
The law of Missouri demands more. Just making conclusory statements that Ms. Gardner willfully violated or neglected some duty is not enough. Missouri's fact pleading, that might work in federal court, but that doesn't work in this court. This is an attack on the democratic process by someone who was never elected. And if Mr. Bailey doesn't like the job Ms. Gardner is doing, that's his right. That's his First Amendment, his right under Article 1 of the Missouri Constitution, and he can support a different candidate at the next election and hope the people of St. Louis agree with him. But the law of Missouri doesn't allow him to do what he's trying to do here and use this court to oust Ms. Gardner for stuff that he disagrees with.
So there you have the attorney for Kim Gardner talking about the lawsuit, Attorney General Bailey filing it to remove Kim Gardner, and this fight is going back and forth. And you also have to think to yourself, good for the Attorney General if he thinks that he is in the right, that he can prove the case, that this is how we could make St. Louis safer, to put somebody in who would actually prosecute the crimes based on what the law is, as opposed to finding somebody who can be the circuit attorney who gets to pick and choose what laws they're going to prosecute and which ones they don't. It's kind of a dangerous situation. And to have somebody at the statewide office like Attorney General Bailey step in and say something needs to be done here. Clearly, they're not taking care of this situation themselves. Might be a good thing. Might be a bad thing. Wonder how you feel about it. Join us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel and leave your comments for this, because we're going to ask Jay Ashcroft that same question. He's the Secretary of State for the state of Missouri. And you got to have some thoughts, Mr. Ashcroft, because when you take in the context of what the city of St. Louis has been suffering under this type of mentality, that laws are options essentially for the prosecutors to choose from, it doesn't make St. Louis the shining star it should be for the state of Missouri.
No, it's a terrible situation. It's not just terrible for the people that live in St. Louis and have to be scared for their lives because the prosecutor wants to coddle criminals instead of protecting law-abiding citizens. It's terrible for the state because when St. Louis does badly, it hurts the rest of the state. Something needs to be done. I don't know if the Attorney General will be successful with this. It is a very high legal standard to win on a quo warrant throw. It's an extraordinary writ, but everyone that believes in the rule of law and believes that people should be able to live safely in this state and pursue their best ideas and dreams should be thankful that the Attorney General is trying. You know, it's pretty pathetic. I heard the intro there when the attorney for the circuit attorney was speaking. He never once tried to say she was doing a good job. He never once tried to say she's doing what she ought to be doing. He never once said that the Attorney General was wrong in saying that she's a terrible prosecutor. He just said, I don't think the law allows this. That's up to the court, and I really appreciate the Attorney General at least fighting as hard as he can to protect the people of the city of St. Louis.
Speaking with Secretary of State of the state of Missouri, Jay Ashcroft, I look at as a conservative, I don't really want higher levels of government coming in and telling people how to do their business. And Kim Gardner has been twice elected and reelected with a strong plurality of people who said, yep, great job, thumbs up, here's some more time in office. What is your measure for the amount of time that should pass, or what's the tripwire for, nope, we got to take this to a higher level for the people who are being represented in that district?
Well, it's not working. Government has the responsibility not to run your life, but to create the level of security that maximizes your ability to live your own life. And when you have people in the city of St. Louis that are scared to leave their houses, they're scared for their children to play outside, there is a problem. We'd much rather have it be dealt with at the local level. I like local government. Because then it's smaller and it's easier to hold people accountable. It's easier to have transparency to know what's going on. But if the local government is not going to protect the citizens of St. Louis City, the state government has to get involved. I worked with the legislature. Unfortunately, the legislation didn't get through this year that would have codified different ways to appoint special prosecutors, which would have codified standards that prosecutors have to meet. Something has to be done. A base function of government is to provide enough security to maximize people's liberty. That's not happening. We have to get rid of the prosecutor.
Missouri's Secretary of State, Jay Ashcroft, with us. It's interesting for me I just seem to find all the blue areas. I live in Illinois, as you know, and I come over to Missouri, and everyone's like, oh, it's just red state everywhere. Yes, and then I'm sitting here in St. Louis, I'm like, where is this red place that everyone keeps talking about? I just keep finding it. Just a little bit more west. But I mean, if you compare the influence that St. Louis and maybe adding Kansas City has on the state of Missouri, and then the influence that a city like Chicago with such a large population has on southern Illinois, which is really, to me, very similar to those areas just west of where I am right now. How do you compare the influences that the big blue city like St. Louis has on state politics? How do you represent everybody at once?
You know, I don't think that St. Louis and Kansas City, maybe throw in Columbia and a little bit of Springfield combined, have the same influence on Missouri that Chicago has on Illinois, but they do influence the state. If you're a company that's thinking about moving to Missouri and you tell your employees, the first thing that employee's spouse is going to do is Google Missouri, and they're going to see the concerns about the lack of educational opportunities in St. Louis. They're going to see the concerns about safety in St. Louis. They won't know about the rest of the other state. That hurts the state as a whole. So the state has to be involved. When St. Louis does better, Missouri as a whole does better, and vice versa.
That's a really, really wonderful way of putting it. So I believe that you and I will be in the same place on Friday evening in Madison County for their Lincoln Day dinner. I'm emceeing, and as I understand it, you are the keynote speaker. And I got to ask you, as somebody who is currently serving as a Republican in statewide office, and as I understand it, running for governor as well, you may know that Illinois has not a single Republican in statewide office and a super minority of Republicans in both chambers of the General Assembly. Do you look at a place like Illinois and, does it seem hopeless to you?
You know, I look at it as an opportunity to reach out to people that are lost and show them a better way. You know, I'm a Christian. Jesus said he came to seek and save those which were lost. I'm going to Illinois to find good people that are lost and say, come to Missouri. Let us show you how productive and how awesome your life could be in freedom.
Well, I know that it's going to be a wonderful event on Friday evening, and I look forward to spending some time with you. You've decided to throw your hat in the ring for the governor race in the state of Missouri. What are your anticipations for how big that primary is going to get, and how do you distinguish yourself from potentially other candidates that might be interested in that position?
I figure there'll be a couple of people that get into that race. That's not really what concerns me. What concerns me is talking about what I want to do, what I think Missouri can do. I think too many politicians get involved pointing at other people saying, vote against them. I want to say vote for me. Why? Because I believe there's tremendous possibility and promise in the state of Missouri that we need to actualize it. We have all statewide elected officials are Republicans. We have supermajorities in the House and the Senate, but we're not acting in a conservative fashion. We are not spending dollars in a conservative fashion. We're raising taxes. We should be lowering taxes. We should be creating opportunity for people to make their own decisions. We should be the state that people are talking about instead of Florida or Texas. And we need to be that beacon of liberty and opportunity. We need to get a handle on crime in our urban areas. We need to make sure that every child in this state has the opportunity to get a good education and put parents in charge of that. We need to pass a constitutional amendment that there can never be a tax increase at the state level without an affirmative vote of the people, and that no tax dollars can be spent unless the legislature approves them. We need to put the people in charge.
Jay Ashcroft with us right now. He's the Missouri Secretary of State. I think about how influential Ron DeSantis has been as a governor in the state of Florida. We've seen what Sarah Huckabee Sanders has done in her short time so far of being the governor in Arkansas. And potentially Joe Biden could win another 4 more years. Wow. He's going to announce he's running for president again.
There went the interview.
Yeah, I know. Crash and burn. It's important to retain a red Republican in a red state when the guy in Washington, D.C., or girl, is so far left. The governor has a lot of influence on how life goes in that state.
It matters. Earlier this year, the Congress, both Republicans and Democrats, voted to say that with your retirement funds, investment advisors couldn't throw your money into woke investments that wouldn't get you the best return on your investments. They passed that to disallow a rule. Joe Biden vetoed it. But here in Missouri, we could say Joe Biden vetoed this, but I put out a rule that said if you do it in Missouri, it'll be fraud and we'll come after you. We need states that will stand up to stupidity of the federal government. We can do that from statewide positions and especially from governor's positions.
Well, Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft, I look forward to seeing you Friday. For people who want to learn more about the event and get their tickets, 971talk.com/events. I am sure that it'll be a lovely evening. And thanks for giving us some of your time this afternoon.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you so much. Great to speak with him today about that issue. I am always kind of befuddled as to how the city of St. Louis operates so differently than the state of Missouri, but then also when I compare it to Southern Illinois, and I hear from you guys all the time. You make your trek into Illinois for like the first time in forever, and you say, it was so lovely. It's so nice over there. I didn't know. It's just like St. Charles or wherever you might hail from. And I'm like, I know. I've been telling you. It's not all Chicago. In fact, there's just a very small portion of Chicago that is the northeast corner of the state, but they've got 2/3 of the population there. Of course, they're going to sway elections statewide dramatically. Illinois is going to have to really do some soul searching and simplification, in my mind, when it comes to the next 2024 election and try to claw back some of those seats in the General Assembly. You have to have a voice, and it starts with those state Senate and state House seats. Know who your state rep is. Mine is now Amy Ellick. And you know why? Because they drew a line around my house so that Katie Stewart isn't my rep anymore. But she's still in the 112th. So if you are, you need to be in touch with her. I'll tell you who to follow as far as that goes. Jen Cordy, who challenged Katie Stewart and lost in the midterm election, is making it her personal business to attend. I think there's like a coffee with Katie Stewart event. I don't know if it takes place weekly or monthly or whatever, but Jen Cordy goes to those and has conversations with Katie Stewart, non-combative as I understand it, but she goes and listens and holds her accountable, and it's fantastic. And she's on Twitter. So if you are interested in getting involved, even if it's just like, how do I make sure that I stay in the know? You find people like Jen, it's Cordy, Korte, 4 Illinois, on Twitter, and she's doing the work. Be informed by them. Illinois Family Institute is another partner that I have here on the Annie Frey Show. I've been very excited to bring them on to the show to be a larger partner than, a potential guest hit or maybe an article that we reference. But the Illinois Family Institute is out there advocating for people who are like me and maybe like you, who have a view on life, a perspective. And in the state of Illinois, if you just looked at government, you would not feel represented there. So go to illinoisfamily.org as well if you want to learn more about what they are researching. We're going to take a quick break. More comments when we come back. Hannah, got a few more lined up. They keep coming in. Yep. The YouTube live chat poll, are you a Tucker Carlson fan? If you missed it, there was huge news in the media today about two very, very, very prominent news broadcasters and their futures with their networks. I'll give you that update when we come back. Don't go away.
First touch of summer, she's got your t-shirt on.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Sun's going down, school's out, stars are coming on.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
You can rewind it, but you can't ever feel like you do tonight. Make a move in your mind, but don't rush it. Boy, you're about to see the light. So hang on.
So Michael's Flooring Outlet is online at igotfloored.com, and shopping at a locally owned, family-owned business for your flooring, shopping with a St. Louis neighbor, makes the process feel good. And what really feels great is their commitment to quality and value. Yep, at the same time. Shopping for new flooring for your house, that is a wonderful way to refresh the appearance, the feel, the look of your home. They also do commercial installations as well. So if you're looking to maybe move from carpeting in your office to carpet squares, they can do that so much easier to maintain. You have a spill, you're not replacing the whole thing, you just replace the carpet square. If you are looking to go to a hardwood or a tech wood, or if you're looking for the Mohawk Silk Strand brand of carpeting, they've got it all for you and all the different looks and feels. They can walk you through that buying process and make sure that you are a confident buyer with Michael's Flooring Outlet by the time you get done. Reach out to them online by visiting them at igotfloored.com.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
How might this week's big stories impact your portfolio? Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale with Stifel. Join me and fellow Stifel financial advisor Eric Robert during On the Money every Saturday from 11 till noon right here on 97.1 FM Talk. Stifel, member NYSE and SIPC.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
You're listening to award-winning, thought-provoking talk. You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk.
Your home for conservative talk.
On the air for over 20 years.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, girl.
Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. A lot of news today. People moving and shaking from one place to the other. And the news that I teased just before we went to a break, if you hadn't heard yet, Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. And if you hadn't heard that yet, you're probably going, what? You might be staring at your radio right now to hear more details. I don't have a whole lot more details at this point in time, but according to Fox News, they were able to part ways amicably. Here's Harris Faulkner on the issue.
We have some news from within our Fox family. Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have mutually agreed to part ways. Tucker's last show was this past Friday. And starting tonight, Fox News Tonight will air live at 8 p.m. Eastern. It will be an interim show with rotating Fox News personalities until a new host is named. We want to thank Tucker Carlson for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a long-term contributor.
So Harris Faulkner making the case and saying, not making the case, but reporting the news that Tucker Carlson is no longer with Fox News. That sure sounds very amicable and like they decided that they needed to go separate directions, and so they are. When you listen to this news about CNN from Oliver Darcy.
Some shocking news again, John, in the world of cable news. Don Lemon and CNN have parted ways. This is according to a memo that was sent out to CNN employees just moments ago. I'll read to you part of it, John. Actually, most of it. It says, CNN and Don have parted ways. Don will forever be a part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years. We wish him well, and we will be cheering him on in his future endeavors. And then it goes on to say that the network is committed to the morning show, CNN This Morning, which, of course, is hosted or was hosted by Don Lemon, as well as Caitlin Collins and Poppy Harlow. Now, this statement is coming from CNN CEO Chris Licht. It does not detail what happened, what led to Don's departure, but Don Lemon is no longer with CNN, according to this memo that just went out to CNN employees, John.
So that was new information. And then, okay, so I just searched Don Lemon in Twitter. So I got it before I read this on the air.
Do I need the dump button ready?
No. But Don Lemon came out and said, this is ridiculous. Basically, CNN, according to Don Lemon, notified Don Lemon's agent. So 2 hours ago, Don Lemon tweeted, I was informed this morning by my agent that I've been terminated by CNN. I'm stunned. After 17 years at CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly. At no time, maybe it was a woman past her prime and she's not very good at her job. I interjected that. At no time was I ever given any indication that I would not be able to continue to do the work I have loved at the network. That's debatable. It is clear that there are some larger issues at play. With that said, I want to thank my colleagues and the many teams I have worked with for an incredible run. They are the most talented journalists in the business, and I wish them all the best. This just made me remember that we don't have to watch any of the recaps of Don Lemon at New Year's anymore. Ooh, that's exciting. So when I searched Don Lemon, CNN Communications, I have to make sure that I get this from the horse's mouth. Do you want to read some comments for our YouTube live chat poll today? Are you a Tucker Carlson fan?
Are you a Tucker Carlson fan? Many people have been weighing in on if they are a fan of him, also where they think he's going to go. All things Tucker Carlson. Rick Brown from YouTube says that he's just straight up done with Fox News now. Mark Anderson said if they dump Gutfeld, Fox will be out like any AV product at my house. Patty from our Facebook page says, I am a big fan of Tucker Carlson. Patricia from our Facebook commented, #done with Fox. Michael Kilo from our Facebook page said, Gutfeld will likely be soon to exit. I bet he's their only last truth speaker holding out.
Michael, you really don't see Laura Ingraham as somebody who is out there.
Yeah, I don't agree with this comment at all.
There's a lot of people who do. So I respect anybody's opinion. But I just don't, that's just not where I am on the issue. So more feedback from folks who agree or disagree with Michael, because I know there's a lot of people who do agree with that. I need to know more about why Tucker's not at Fox anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They said a mutual parting of ways. Maybe Tucker Carlson is running for president and can't be on the air, and he's going to announce tomorrow, like 5 minutes before Joe Biden announces.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe that's going to happen. It's possible. Maybe it's going to be the case. And then in the meantime, he can't have a show and be running for president at the same time. So maybe he's running for president, and we're all like, Fox is the worst. And then Fox is really happy for Tucker. And I mean, I'm just saying,
so many possibilities.
We are always trying to be on the hook for outrage and emotional reaction. Maybe your initial emotional reaction and your anticipation of it is warranted, and in the end, you'll be made out to be right. But I just don't know that we have enough information yet. So I'll just sit here and pause myself, because I have too many things that are current and factually established to be outraged about, that I'm going to put a pin in this on my potential outrage board over here. And I will get back to that in a minute. CNN communications. So I have it.
Okay.
So I read to you, we played for you what Oliver Darcy reported on CNN. We read for you what Don Lemon tweeted on his own account. 2 hours ago, CNN Communications, which is at CNN PR. CNN and Don have parted ways. Don will forever be a part of the CNN family, and we thank him for his contributions over the past 17 years. We wish him well, and we'll be cheering him on in his future endeavors. Oh, that's nice. So then, I guess maybe Don Lemon tweeted that out like at the same time or something, because it was both a couple hours ago. 1 hour ago, CNN PR tweets out, Don Lemon's statement about this morning events isn't accurate.
Oh.
He was offered an opportunity to meet with management, but instead released a statement on Twitter.
That's interesting.
Spicy.
That is spicy. That is some tea.
Gossip, people. Tea means gossip.
Tea means gossip.
I like that. What else you got over there?
Let's see. Scott Vetter from our YouTube page says, I'm done with Fox News, and this will be very tough for me. I watch throughout the day, listen to Kilmeade on 97.1 during that time slot, and watch at night. I am done. He's pretty upset about that. Paul Allen from our Facebook page says that he is a big Tucker Carlson fan. Lisa Wilson says, I will miss Tucker. I thought he addressed many of the issues I was concerned about and ones that didn't get much media coverage. I like the five, Jesse Waters and Laura. I like Maria Bartiromo. There we go. Two.
I agree with that. I think that I think they're good programs. It's easier to react to things like this if you don't feel like, let's put it this way. If you feel like there is a full layer, so you know how like when you were dancing in middle school, I don't know about you, Hannah, but it was like leave room for the Holy Spirit.
We heard that.
You did hear that?
Did we listen? I don't know.
No. Like, who is the Holy Spirit? This is a public school. You leave room for the Holy Spirit. Don't get too close and cuddly with any of these news media outlets who are thought leaders, because reporting on the news and having somebody give you their reaction to it, it's very good to know what the news is, to hear what people's thoughts are on it, so that you can, at the end, formulate your own thoughts and positions. I think we often discount ourselves from that process because it's just easier to be like, I'm with Tucker with whatever he says. And I'm with Tucker with most of what he says. I think Tucker Carlson would say it would be unhealthy for anyone to listen to what he says and agree with him 100% of the time, because we're unique individuals. And the tribalism that exists on the left and the right can often cause us to give up our own responsibility to think over the issues that are in front of us and formulate our own opinions. And of course, that goes for me too. When you're listening to the show, I often have people, especially if you're kind of in my age range, if you're in that middle part of life where you're raising kids and you're trying to, work a job or figure out what to do with kids' education, so on and so forth. You relate to me, and I am able to represent you in this environment so we can have a daily conversation. I am so sensitive to caring and nurturing that relationship. But I also purposely try to present my thoughts, my perspectives in a way that do not shy away from who I am, but with the respect to you that you're going to hear what I have to say, and then you're going to go, oh, I agree with that. I think that's right. Or, oh, Annie's really wrong on this one. But that you don't feel like I'm going to call you names for disagreeing with me after the fact. There's a lot of noise in political media today, of which I am a part of this noise that sounds to many people like shrieking or just feedback in probably a lot of ways. And the best I can do is try to cut through that and make people who are looking for someone to voice out loud that voice that's in their head, if that's who I am for you, I take that so seriously. But I also know that at the same time, there are people who will listen to this show to peek behind the curtain of the other side, to listen to somebody articulate what it means to be conservative without the silly name calling or the juvenile dunk on a politician for shortcomings that they may have, when we could actually be talking about the terrible policies that they're putting in place. I think that there's a right way to go about it. I don't succeed every time. I definitely have my fair share of piling up failures. If Tucker Carlson, you said it feels like you lost a friend.
Yeah, it does. When I heard this news, I was really sad.
Sad. Yeah, I was that way too. I don't think that we've heard the last from Tucker Carlson. I think that something potentially very exciting is afoot. I don't know. I have no information. I'm just anticipating here. But it is okay in a world where the news headline is out about Tucker Carlson or Don Lemon and everybody wants to rush to get the scoop and the tea, as the kids say. It's okay if you don't have it right now, and if you just kind of reserve reaction to when you do. And then you can be outraged, you can be excited, you can be happy, you can be anticipatory, whatever the case might be. We're going to take a quick break. More feedback from the YouTube live chat poll. Are you a Tucker Carlson fan? Yes or no? Get on the Annie Frey YouTube channel and come say hi. We got a big crowd there today. We want you to be a part of it. We'll get to a reaction from Brad and Ryan on this question and more in the 2 o'clock hour. Don't go away.
If you'd like to work with a local company that gives back to the community, Window World is the preferred window of your St. Louis Blues. Mark Cox here from my friends out at Window World. What a great product. A lifetime warranty. It covers all the parts, the glass breakage, the labor. You've heard me say that before. And they've been around for over 20 years. They have improved the look and the efficiency of over 70,000 homes in the greater St. Louis area. They have the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. That's hard to get, right? And that's important. They're ranked number one in the number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. Call them for a free estimate. Let them show you why they say simply the best for less. New doors, new windows. With Window World, they're now offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800. Or you can go online anytime to windowworld.com.
This is Ryan Wiggins. Man, do I have the solution if you're at 2 o'clock going, oh, man, I got the yawns. It's Monday. I'm feeling a little tired. You didn't get the sleep you needed because you probably never are getting you the sleep you needed. It's because maybe you have sleep apnea. So many people have sleep apnea and you don't even know it. If you snore, that's probably a symptom of sleep apnea. So go see my friend, Dr. Ty Parker at Fountains Family Dentistry. I did that about 10 years ago, maybe a little more than 10 years ago now. And I have never slept better in my life, even compared to when I was a kid. You know, when you're a kid, you sleep like a log, or most kids do. I sleep that way now because I have this little retainer that I put in every night, and that's it. It takes care of it. So if you're in that boat and you want to sleep better, go see Dr. Ty Parker at Fountains Family Dentistry. They're in Fairview Heights, Illinois, and the process is so simple because they make it simple. Go see them. FountainsFamilyDentistry.com is the website. You can give them a call or make an appointment right there online, FountainsFamilyDentistry.com.
Diamonds Direct's biggest sale all year is going on now with an extra 20% savings, an expanded selection, in-store designer appearances, and special financing. Imagine 20% off Diamonds Direct's already value prices on rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry, and thousands of engagement ring mounting. Meet the designers who've flown in with all new collections for spring. It's the most exciting event all year with extreme savings and exceptional value. Don't miss this once-a-year jewelry extravaganza. Details, showroom hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
There's more riding on Metro Transit than people. Metro Transit helps move our economy. If you're a people person looking to change careers, join our team. You may qualify for a signing bonus too. We are conducting on-site interviews this Saturday, April 29th at the Brentwood Metro Bus Facility, located at 3000 South Brentwood, St. Louis. Metro Transit offers good health and retirement benefits, so stop by to get your career and our local economy moving. For more info, visit workatmetrostl.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
They want to help as many Americans as possible. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That from the White House after the weekend evacuation of U.S. Embassy personnel in Sudan, where fighting continues. France and Germany airlifting out hundreds of people.
The State Department, I know, and I'd refer you to them for further details, is making itself available to communicate with those Americans wishing to leave to find the best way possible for them to get out of the country.
Pentagon spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder says right now it doesn't appear there are large numbers of Americans wanting to leave. Some U.S. citizens had joined a UN convoy, the U.S. military flying surveillance drones over land routes and moving ships to help if needed. President Biden meeting this afternoon with 3 state lawmakers from Tennessee who faced recent expulsion votes for leading a protest in the state house days after a deadly shooting at a Christian school in Nashville. The White House says they're discussing legislative strategies on reducing gun violence. A deadly shooting on a college campus in central Oklahoma.
Police in Midwest City, Oklahoma say what began as a domestic situation between 2 males escalated into a shooting near Rose State College's administrative building. The student says she sheltered in place with a witness.
They just took off running to where we were and told us, hey, we saw it happen. And told us that there was only one guy, that he had a pistol.
We're being told that 1 male was killed, the other taken into custody. The school still swarming with police from multiple agencies as buildings are being cleared.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Midwest City is a suburb of Oklahoma City. President Biden offering thanks to all of the nation's teachers.
Teaching is not just what you do, it's who you are. It's who you are.
He's hosting teachers being honored from around the country, including Teacher of the Year, Rebecca Peterson from Oklahoma. America is listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-838-2626. That's 800-838-2626. 800-838-2626.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Plenty of sunshine around town as we go through our Monday afternoon. Temperatures a little bit better, but still below average, 62. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies. On the chilly side, though not as cold, 42 Tuesday. Partly sunny, 62. Wednesday and Thursday, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Couple of showers each day, but rainfall is light and limited. A lot of dry time, 65. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Buying and selling a home in the state of Illinois, if you are on the east side of the river, have you talked to Jen Teskey yet? And I'm even talking about future thoughts. I have kind of started thinking about this process myself, and Jen is helping me move into the idea of this is what you could probably sell your house for. She sent me some paperwork I'm going to go through that will assess our home and our home's value. She's with RE/MAX Alliance, and Jen Teskey is the best. When you call or text 618-541-1010, that's 618-541-1010, you get Jen. That's awesome. Her team, along with her at RE/MAX Alliance, is going to position you for the quickest, fastest, best possible experience for the sale of your home. Equity in people's home right now is still very high. Prices are still very high. Inventory is still low. Don't sleep on the market right now because somebody somewhere said, oh, this is not the time to sell. Talk to Jen Teskey. The phone call is free. The text is free. You reach out to her. You get the conversation started today. Jen Teskey with RE/MAX Alliance, the best possible hands you can be in. 618-541-1010. That's 618-541-1010.
If you're experiencing a spring hiring rush, then you need Indeed. Their powerful, all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Want to find your next great hire? Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Friends of Fisher House St. Louis has served thousands of military and veterans family members in our community by ensuring they can be with their loved ones receiving medical care. They know that a family's love is good medicine. Visit 971talk.com/care to learn more.
97.1 FM Talk.
Everything they talk about. That's what I'm talking about.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
I love it.
Everyone is welcome.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I'm really glad you brought bathrooms up.
I sure did. I love them.
I almost forgot to talk about this today.
I use them every day.
I am outraged. I am enraged. I am furious. Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Monday. Good to have you here. So here is my experience over the weekend. I'm not even going to say which one it is, but I went into a Starbucks and I had to pee so bad. And I believe that if you go into a place because you're using the bathroom, that you should buy something. I feel very guilty if I don't. So I will go into a store and buy something. And if I'm going into a Starbucks, there's a bunch of somethings there that I will not be sad about walking out the door with. And I go into this, I hustle into the bathroom or around the corner at the Starbucks. And I see on the door, they have the woman and man and person in a wheelchair. And then under it just says restroom. And I'm like, great. So I don't know in this day and age, if I open this up, are there going to be stalls in here? Am I going to have to pee next to somebody who is standing up to pee? I don't want to do that. Are there going to be urinals in here? I'm sorry. I don't want to be in the presence of a urinal ever. And that used to be possible. Hannah? She's like, I use urinals all the time.
Well, it's starting to diverge from you here, Annie.
I've never been in a bathroom where there's a urinal also. I don't want to be.
Brad and I have.
Listen. Do you agree with me on this? Urinals are disgusting.
Yeah. Yes. That was the first thing that I thought about when you started telling the story, because I know exactly what you're talking about, because my local Starbucks is like that as well.
Urinals are gross.
Yes.
There is no urinal in this bathroom.
I will have to go ahead and agree with you here. I don't understand why it is so hard for men to hit the toilet, because it is 100% of urinals.
Just sit down. If you
can't hit the toilet,
just sit down.
Sit down in the urinal. That's what you're saying, right?
I don't even care if the urinal is in a men's bathroom.
Just go outside.
Don't even put a urinal in there. Just pee on the wall. I don't care, because it's not a bathroom that I have to use. If it is of importance to the gentleman that you share said restroom with, and there is a urine targeting concern, then that is a battle for men who have to live in that existence to fight, not for me.
Yeah, we do live in that world. And Brad, I don't know about you.
You guys seem okay with it. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just a reality of our life at this point.
Yeah, we've
like there are men's restrooms.
We're resigned to it.
I haven't seen one recently, but there are men's restrooms that are just a big trough.
I love those. From when I was a kid, oh my gosh, those were the best.
From when you were a kid?
Yeah, they don't really make those anymore.
It'd be like an 8 or 10 foot trough.
Yeah,
The
everybody
guys
just goes pees in a circle around this thing.
There's not sectioned off or anything. You just go up and wherever you can like elbow in.
Oh man,
let her rip.
That and like a bunch of Busch Light. That's what I remember from childhood.
Oh man,
not drinking it.
What?
But I just remember being around. Like,
what's happening?
But I will be completely honest with you. This is what I was saying earlier. That's where my mind goes immediately. It's like, oh man, the ladies are going to have to deal with what we have to deal with, and they can't deal with it in the same way that we do, because we
can't stand.
You can't stand.
You can't.
There is no existence. Don't say anything, Brad. There is no existence where a man and a woman in a commercial environment of the stature of a Starbucks, where a woman should have to use the same toilet that a man stands to pee on, not in. Ugh.
Well, that's correct also. Yeah, because if you're using the same toilet as a man, he is probably going to hit the rim. Then you got to sit in it.
It's disgusting. So what does this all have to do with my weekend? Am I just mad because I had to use a bathroom that a man had used? No. In fact, that's not what I'm mad about. I am going to, on the Annie Frey YouTube channel right now, we're streaming live, and you can go vote in the YouTube poll today. Are you a Tucker Carlson fan? Completely unrelated topic.
Yeah, that's not what this is.
Highly unrelated topic. But when I had to, and I had to pee, like, it was happening.
Yeah.
I've had 4 kids.
Yep.
Moms out there, you know. Dads, you probably know too.
Well.
It just becomes like, once you've got it in your mind that this is, so to speak, going down, you gotta make it happen. So I walk into this Starbucks, and this is what I see.
You took a picture.
Yes, I took a picture because I was so mad.
I had no idea when I was talking about bathrooms in the break that you had this ready to go.
No. This is what I walked into. There is no toilet paper in the toilet paper holder because the roll of toilet paper is off of the toilet paper holder and laying on the floor.
My gosh.
The toilet seat is up. There is urine on the toilet. And I'm going to have to use my hands or my foot to put the toilet seat down, which also had urine on it. And so I go in there and I'm like, ugh. So then I remove myself and I look across the little hallway there. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going in this one. And a man walks out of it.
Oh, so this is an all-purpose bathroom, men, women, and whoever.
Well, Starbucks did this a while back. They just removed men's.
Oh, that's right.
And women's from the restroom, and they're just restrooms, and they've got 2 of them.
So you have multi-purpose restrooms when there used to be men and women's restrooms, because Starbucks is in 2023.
I got in the car with my husband after this, and I go, I am heated. And he's like, whoa, what's going on? I thought you were getting something to drink. I didn't. And
Show
I said, tell me how in 2023 this is what progress looks like. How is this moving the ball down the field? It makes no sense to me. There is, I mean, I didn't even take a picture of the like rest of the room, which was like paper towels on the floor. Like it wasn't clean. But if you're going to have men using a restroom, then have somebody who is going to detail the bathroom after every time that they leave, if that's so important to you.
This is a perfect analogy for equity.
You're right.
You know, it's not that those of us that have to deal with dirty bathrooms as a lifestyle get to now deal with I don't know, to you, Ryan, is it like a fairy tale land, like the women's restroom? Like,
oh, when somebody walks and the door's open and I walk past it, I'm like, whoa, that's different.
Yeah, but you can't like stare into it either. So it's
No,
like you don't know what's in there, but you got this like
there's a couch in there.
Yes,
sometimes.
And now, but instead, what we're dealing with now is it brings those that had something good going for them down to the level of us.
Hey, at least it's equitable now.
So everything's equal at the lowest common denominator. It doesn't raise everybody up. It just drags people down.
Annie, real question. I don't know if you walked into both restrooms.
I turned to go to the other one and a man was walking out and I just was like, and I mean, he looked like a perfectly normal dude. He didn't do anything wrong.
No. But
so I just was like,
could you tell one of them had been a women's restroom and one had been a men's?
No. I didn't even go into the other one.
So you don't know.
Like
okay.
the hallway, when I decided to abort going into the first bathroom and I turned around, he was like, I could have given him a high five, which would have been gross. What'd you do?
Been a little bit awesome. But how'd you do in there? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, my turn. So gross. I just don't understand. Like, what am I? If and I didn't, because I'm not going to. But if I were to complain about this, what am I even allowed to complain about? Well, they left the toilet seat up? Well, yeah, Annie. Some people use the toilet that way.
A dirty bathroom.
You're complaining because you're walking into a room that used to not have pee all over the seat, which is what I was talking about in the break, oddly, that there was just pee on the floor because it's a guy's restroom. Now you have a worse restroom because of equity. And the amazing thing is that the reason they're doing this is that a very, very, very small minority of people, and I don't even care if it was a larger portion of people, somebody somewhere said, this hurts my feelings, this is the way I feel about it, change society, change things around me. But if you were to say, well, this is the way I feel about it, I feel weird about this, your feelings don't matter. For some reason, yours don't, and this group does.
Exactly. And Art says, Annie Frey, what about trans men? They have to stand up to pee. Well, then don't create a scenario where if you want to accommodate those people, that is the experience that I have when I go into a shared restroom. If they have to stand up to pee, create a bathroom for people who have to stand up to pee and call it that. Here is the bathroom for people who have to stand up to pee.
Stand peers. Yeah.
Yes. Pee standers.
Yeah, pee standers.
Yes.
That's one room.
And pee sitters.
And pee sitters.
Or pee.
Yeah. Pee shooters.
This isn't like, I see the point, Art. I know what you're trying to say. What about our trans brothers and sisters? I'm not mad at them because it might have been a completely heterosexual, the worst of them, white dude who went in there and stood up and peed all over the place and didn't put it back, thinking about whomever it is that's going to go sit on that toilet again. I'm just saying that if this is what progress looks like, put it back. It makes me so mad.
Yeah.
I was so mad.
Because you're used to a certain way, and now because of, like Brad said, because of equity, they're just lowering the standards for you.
And we're all the same now.
And now we're all the same.
And Hannah, it's not like you go into a women's restroom and they all have couches and lotions and
yeah, definitely not.
That was our impression, so it's good to hear. But
just leave the
ours
the
here. Odyssey is. I mean, you should see the inside. It's plated in gold.
Well, I'll put on a wig tomorrow.
I guess that's what you got to do.
That's what you do.
No, I'm going to put pee standards on the.
No, doggone it. This is a pee sitter.
But it's not. You go into a women's restroom. Sometimes they're gross too. You go into a women's restroom in a gas station. Sometimes it's gross too. But I would rather go into a women's gross bathroom than a man's gross bathroom.
Absolutely.
So
all
would
day.
you, Ryan?
Oh yeah, I'd much rather go into a women's bathroom if nobody was using it. They're cleaner and they're covered with lotion. That's a weird way to say that. They have lotion and couches. Can I give you a
Well, the other thing I was going to say is at the end of all of this, the thing that made me the most mad is I thought that the solution here, if this is the world we're living in, at least put a urinal in the bathroom. I would rather sit on a clean toilet with a urinal in the room where you are expected to pee over there if you're standing up.
Man, I don't know. That is another line that's being crossed. Now you're definitely inviting men into that room.
I know, but we're so far past that line.
I don't know.
We're so far past that line. And if you're in a scenario where, you know, like I said when I showed my husband that picture, he goes, man, that stinks. He goes, I know how uncomfortable I've been when I've had to bring our daughters into a men's restroom because he's by himself. You know what it's like, Ryan, to bring your daughter. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I very much so value a family restroom, which it can be a gender neutral restroom. But respect everybody. And if you want to go out on the limb where you are putting in a gender neutral bathroom, keep the women's and the men's rooms as well.
Those are
Make
also
3.
Those are usually single use bathrooms too.
This was also.
This was? Okay.
Yeah. So it's 2 single use bathrooms.
Little piece of advice when you're on the road. Kind of related, but kind of not. You don't have to buy something there, which is why I love going in. When you stop off of an exit, you need to go to the bathroom when you're on a road trip, go to a hotel because they're always clean and nobody cares that you walk in. Just a little piece of advice.
Why are you talking in your scary voice?
I know.
That's my advice voice.
Let me give you a little bathroom advice.
At a hotel. I was mad about it. And I completely was not going to remember to talk about it. But you were talking, what was that you were talking about the bathrooms here before?
I was talking about listening to the radio in our bathrooms, which is always weird because sometimes you're listening to the show you're on.
Yeah, it is weird. And then they start playing the music to come, and you're like, oh my gosh,
let's clamp this up.
Let's.
I mean, let's button this down.
Up. Button up.
Zipper down.
Please don't zip down and then come back on the show. Ever. Are you a Tucker Carlson fan? Yes or no? Brad and Ryan react to that. That's our YouTube live chat poll as well. Go vote us or go show up on the YouTube channel and give us your thoughts on that poll and comments. And Hannah can come in and we'll read a few more of those before we get to the results at 2:45. Tucker Carlson and Fox have parted ways. CNN has fired Don Lemon. And Don Lemon's real hurt about it. We don't know we don't know the details of the Tucker Carlson situation yet, but if we get them, we will be sure to relay them here as well. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
I realized quickly when I knew I should that the world was made up of this brotherhood of man. For whatever that means. Into a crisis times when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head. And I am feeling a little peculiar.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on?
Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group is hosting another one of those seminars that you have heard me talk about before. If you haven't gone yet, now is the time to sign up for the Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, May 16th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30 p.m. Call 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494 and schedule your appointment today and make sure that you reserve your spot for this event. It's super simple. He starts it at 6:30. He only talks for about 45 minutes and then you're free to go. And a lot of people from the station are there as well. You're going to get all the answers and more. So if you're 59 and a half or older, you do not want to miss this event. 314-993-9494 and you can schedule and reserve your spot. Bring a friend, bring another couple that you hang out with and socialize with and make an evening of it. It's at the Plaza Frontenac Hilton at 6:30 p.m. and seating is limited, so you want to make sure you get your spot reserved. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
Cardinals fans, baseball is back.
Down the line! Does it stay fair? You bet! It's a slammer!
Catch every pitch from every St. Louis Cardinals game live with News Radio 1120 KMOX on the free Odyssey app.
That's gone! Dylan Carlson!
The voices you know, the team you love.
It is a goner for Arenado!
Your St. Louis Cardinals, your Odyssey. Download the free Odyssey app today.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk, I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill each morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
One pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Worldwide Technology, recognized as a great place to work for 12 years in a row, is hosting a supply chain career event on April 29th at their North American Integration Center in Edwardsville, Illinois, to connect with skilled professionals in the technology production and supply chain industries to fill dozens of roles. Positions include warehouse specialists and managers, production supervisors, configuration techs, and more. These jobs come with competitive pay, industry-leading benefits that even include your pets, and an award-winning culture with career development that gives you options to grow. Learn more and apply online at wwt.com/careers.
Odyssey is your home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today to listen to 97.1 FM Talk, even when you don't have a radio. Always streaming at 971talk.com.
Caught my heart about 1-2 times. Don't need to question the reason I'm yours. I'm yours.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
I'm not trying to be your part-time lover. Sign me up for them full-time. I'm yours. All yours. So what a man gotta do? What a man gotta do to be totally locked up by you? What a man gotta say? What a man gotta pray to be your last good night and your first good day? So what a man gotta do? What a man
Free speech is meaningless unless you allow people you don't like to say things you don't like. Otherwise, it's irrelevant. And if at the point at which you lose free speech, it doesn't come back.
Elon Musk said that in a recent sit-down with Tucker Carlson, which is a very interesting interview that I think you should go back and watch for yourself and just take in the whole thing. Elon Musk has already invested $44 billion of his own dollars into restoring free speech, essentially because he thinks the First Amendment is priceless, which is why he spent ×2 what he has now found out to be the valuation of Twitter. And he cares that much about free speech. What does Elon Musk have at stake in his business endeavors with his recent comments about artificial intelligence and the danger that artificial intelligence poses to our future, not just as a country, but humanity? That's broad. I wonder what Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson talked about. Because I wonder if there was a potential for something new on the horizon at a pivotal time in history with an incredibly important election headed this way, with an Elon Musk who said in that interview he voted for Joe Biden and he was disgusted by the Zuckerbucks, the money that was used from Mark Zuckerberg through Facebook to persuade the outcome of the election. The gross involvement of the United States government agencies in how Twitter functioned and how it stifled free speech. Now would be more than ever a time for free speech to be at a premium and valuable. What if there was a network in the future that was funded by Elon Musk and featured Tucker Carlson? I don't know. I'm just saying, I think it could be another piece of the pie that we should be thinking about that would maybe be a part of the reason why Tucker Carlson has, as of today, we have found out, parted ways with Fox News, and Fox News has parted ways with Tucker Carlson. There's no really dramatic details that we know yet, but Tucker Carlson is done at Fox News. Don Lemon got canned by CNN, and he was really ticked off that he didn't get notified by the proper people. CNN came out after Don Lemon put on Twitter, like, they didn't even have the nerve to tell me to my face. CNN said, we asked you to come in for a meeting, and you just put it out on Twitter instead. So that didn't seem like completely accurate. The YouTube live chat poll for today is, are you a Tucker Carlson fan, yes or no? Brad, what do you think about this poll question?
I would put myself in the I am a Tucker Carlson fan camp. So I would vote, yes, I am a Tucker Carlson fan. I think that Tucker's going to stick the landing on this too. I don't know, like, if he was part of the, I don't know that he was fired or, man, Twitter has been blowing up too. I was looking at that while I was out there during the other interviews and looking at some of the stories out there, and the speculation is just all over the place on what happened here and what's going to come of this and all this other stuff. I don't know how he left. I don't know why he left. But this idea of him partnering with Elon Musk to do something really intrigues me. But I'm a Tucker Carlson fan. I think he's going to stick the landing on this. I think he's going to come out fine.
I am looking on Fox Nation right now. I love the Tucker Carlson originals that he does. I don't think that he was. I am in like episode 4, I think, of 5 episodes of the Jussie Smollett story that Fox Nation did. It's fantastic. But I'm going to be more bummed if someone commented on here. Joe said, I wonder if they've pulled all of Tucker's shows off of Fox Nation. I still see Tucker Carlson today. It should say Tucker Carlson yesterday. Do you think, Brad, just as a total guess right now, unless you have info that we don't, do you think that this was mutual, or do you think that Fox fired Tucker?
So I told Ryan off the air, this is what I think it was. I think this has something to do with the Dominion lawsuit. This is completely speculation, by the way. So speculation. I think it has something to do with the Dominion lawsuit and them in some sort of way in the settlement wanting him to apologize and then him refusing to apologize, and therefore they decided they were going to part ways. So I don't know if that's him being fired or him leaving of his own volition.
Ryan, what do you think? Are you a Tucker Carlson fan?
I would answer yes to that question. I don't watch his shows live. I usually consume them next day through clips for the radio. But I like Tucker Carlson. I generally like the direction that he goes and the questions that he asks. I do think that this blindsided him. So what the big plan, the big ideas.
You think Tucker Carlson was blindsided?
I do.
Why do you think that?
Just because there's been nothing. I mean, we listened in a break to one of his last segments, and it was, about him eating pizza with a pizza delivery guy who stopped a robbery or something. It just didn't seem like if you knew something was coming that you would make that your last segment.
I almost think you would make it your last segment.
Maybe.
Because he looked as happy as could be.
Yeah. Well, it was a Friday. So, but I don't know. I don't think that this was, this could very well be covered by an NDE, a non-disclosure, where he can't really talk about it. All the ideas about him having plans for either running for president or doing some other thing, I think that all comes next, because I do think this happened really last minute, and I do think it was related to the Dominion stuff.
This will come as a shock to people, but I completely think the other thing.
Good.
I don't think Tucker Carlson is sitting there getting caught off guard by this. I think he's way too smart, and I think that he knows that he's pushing the limits in everything he does. And in fact, that's what makes him Tucker, is the idea that he's willing to be his own guy and be his own person. I think that I had said this similar to what Brad had said, is the Dominion lawsuit coming down and this being the case, and same thing happened to Dan Bongino. They let go of him, and they handled the reaction to it very similarly, that there might have been some sort of ask that was not willing to be met by Tucker Carlson, but at the same time, that would not be brand new information. Tucker Carlson's text messages and stuff were a huge part of that Dominion lawsuit. There's no way that Tucker Carlson doesn't have laid plans already, in my opinion. And whatever he's going to do next, he could potentially be unchained. So it's like maybe awakening a beast larger. If you're like a super Tucker hater, I don't know if this is the day you celebrate. I mean, he would probably be off the air for a little bit because he probably has a non-compete. But how those things work, it's all up to lawyers. And if some lawyer can prove that somebody broke the contract, then things start to get wild. Hannah, you want to give us some more feedback from people who are commenting and reacting on the Annie Frey YouTube channel?
Yep. Tina Weber from our YouTube page says that she will follow Tucker wherever he goes, buy O'Reilly's books, but listen to Tucker daily. Other than Tucker, I will faithfully follow Greg Gutfeld. Patrick Fleer said Tucker would rule YouTube if they didn't block him immediately for spreading truth they don't like. Dirk says Tucker will be Trump's press secretary.
That would mean Tucker would have to speak for the president, and that's not happening.
Daniel from
unless Trump just did what Tucker said. if Trump would watch his own press briefings to be like, okay, do what the man said.
Daniel Layer from Facebook says that he is sad and sorry to see Tucker go. Frank Belleville says, I really hope Tucker moves over to Rumble. Amanda Renkin says, let's give Gutfeld a longer spot. Barb Schott says, WTF were they thinking? She's pretty upset about that. STL STG says, I followed Tucker since he was a regular with Bubba. He's always been the same common sense dude.
Bubba?
I don't know who Bubba is.
Bubba as in Bill Clinton?
No, I don't think that too. But we'll dig into it.
Shelly from our Facebook page says, I'm sad that he was not respected enough for Fox to stand by him. We'll definitely forget Fox News.
I do believe you have to wait and find out more details. If Fox News did everything they could to try to keep him, if Tucker Carlson has something up his sleeve that's in his mind bigger and better and more impactful, then I think we need to wait and find out what those details are. But I understand why people are skeptical about how this went down, and I think that the proximity to the Dominion lawsuit settlement got me having at least one eyebrow raised.
Laura Mueller from YouTube says, I'm a huge Tucker and Dan Bongino fan. I just canceled my Fox Nation subscription. Dan Gilbert says, Tucker Carlson 2024.
People have been talking about him running for president regularly. He just did a hit. Recently, he did a segment that was, I think it was featuring CNN, maybe, I can't remember. But there are constantly people who are skeptical that he would potentially make a run for president. He kind of sort of addressed it. I kind of want to go back and see. I've got them all on my YouTube TV DVR. I might have to go back and look and find it and see if there was any more to that comment than maybe we would have noticed the first time around.
JS from YouTube said, I never watched Tucker Carlson, so I have no opinion. I would like to know more of the background, though. Tucker did not make up the Dominion story out of thin air. Just don't cancel Gutfeld. LOL. Mary Ellen from Facebook says, yes, I'm a Tucker Carlson fan as he exposed the truth, good or ugly. She's sad about him leaving, and she might be leaving as a Fox viewer herself. At times, I thought he was the only voice for voicelessness, which includes most Midwesterners. Mark Reed said, I used to be a Tucker Carlson fan when he was with MSNBC with his goofy bow tie. Not sure what happened to him at Fox, but it was best that he goes. Bonsai says, Fox is done after losing Tucker. Obviously, AOC got her way after demanding that Fox censors Tucker. What do you think about that?
I don't think that AOC says something on the weekend and Fox goes, okay.
Yeah. Oh, man, she's really hot about this one. Okay, we'll do it.
We should stop making her mad.
I don't think that that's it. Again, I mean, folks, in 48 hours, we'll probably know way more. Tucker will make a statement or something. If Tucker releases a statement and it's on Rumble, then I think you know something. If Tucker tweets something out, I mean, his Twitter, like I said, his Twitter profile right now looks like he's being trolled. It's got a Ukraine flag in it. He's got pronouns she, her in it. Says something like fully vaccinated, but I don't know if that's been like that the whole time.
Oh, man. Joe Kelly from our YouTube channel says, I don't see any reason to stop watching Fox News over Tucker's leave. There is still plenty of good on Fox.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Well, let's take a quick break. Get your vote in now. We want to make sure we get everybody's reaction. We'll do a few more of your thoughts on the parting of ways between Tucker Carlson and Fox News, and also CNN firing Don Lemon on the same day. Who would have thunk it? What happens next for either of these two guys? It's up. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems definitely like Don Lemon did not know this was coming, and we just don't know anything from Tucker, at least as of yet. More Annie Frey show in a minute. Don't go away.
So what a man gotta do? What a man gotta do to be totally locked up by you?
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
To be last good night and your first good day. So what a man gotta do? What a man gotta do to be totally locked up by you?
AirComfortService.com. If you are running your air conditioner in your home, probably not this weekend, one of those weird St. Louis weekends where you're putting the heater back on and you kind of want to be done with the furnace, but you're not. You're going to be running your air conditioner and your furnace here probably for the next couple weeks, a little bit here, a little bit there. Make sure that it is running efficiently. If it isn't, if you haven't had it checked in a long time, you may not even realize that it's not running efficiently. Air Comfort Service is there to make sure that you are in good shape. Have them come out and perform a cooling system check. As temperatures start to warm up, you need to know that your furnace works with your air conditioner to cool your home. When you reach out to them, you can sign up for a maintenance plan, paid monthly. You get the 12th month free. $15 a month is where plans start, and you will be in your comfort zone with the confidence of the partnership that we have in our home at the Frey House with Air Comfort Service. You can call them to schedule an appointment today. You can also visit them online. The phone number is 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, Board and Batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today. sidingexpress.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Get some reusable bags for the grocery store and recycle paper, bottles, and cans to make every day Earth Day. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Warmer days are coming. Time to schedule your annual AC system check for as little as $15 a month. For any residential or commercial HVAC services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Hey, ¿Dónde está Mark Reardon? Well, the answer to that question is I'm in Spain, and I'll be back a week from Monday, but Brad Young will fill in Monday afternoon.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. This is ANN. I.E. Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show.
Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. I wanna fly like an eagle.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. So the news of the day is Tucker Carlson and Fox News have parted ways, and the CNN network has fired Don Lemon. We're waiting to see more information about what took place with Tucker Carlson. We don't know. Tomorrow, Joe Biden is going to announce that he's running for president again. I hope he knows that already. Listen to this.
Check this out. We asked folks in this poll, do you think Joe Biden should run for re-election? Look at this. Only a quarter, 26%, said they think he should run for re-election.
People don't want Joe Biden to run for re-election. I think Jill Biden's probably a big fan of the idea. RFK Jr., he's making some waves.
I'm in a better position to run against Donald Trump than any of the Democrats because I can hold him accountable for the worst thing that he did, which was the lockdowns.
So when you think about RFK Jr., what if he were to win the primary? What if he were to become the president? Is the first thing he's doing is reading the Kennedy file and exposing it? Because I think it should be.
I feel like it might be.
Do you think he knows? Does he know what's in the Kennedy file?
I don't know if he would know. He would. I don't know. How old was he when his dad was killed?
Well, his dad was
RFK, but he would have.
His dad was killed in a helicopter accident. Is that right?
No, that was JFK Jr. that was killed in the plane crash.
Oh.
RFK was assassinated by Sirhan, I think is his name.
Yes, on June 5th, 1968.
And yeah, so, but Robert and John, they were.
Wouldn't you be motivated to find out what happened?
For sure.
He's probably spent a good portion of his career looking into that. I think if he knew, we'd know.
I'm just saying if he became the president of the United States, he'd be able to say declassified.
Yeah.
And people thought Donald Trump was going to do stuff about that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that part of the Q thing?
Yeah. Well, you get the sense after the Chinese.
Hold on a second. Let's go to our Q correspondent, Ryan Wiggins.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Thank you for associating me with that label. I think
America,
after, not sure whether to embrace that or run from it.
Your choice.
I'm just gonna sit here. After watching the Chinese balloon saga that played out and how much this was going on even under the Trump administration that the Trump administration didn't know about, I bet there's a lot of things that Trump probably did try to do that they just blocked him from, that they would just say, well, we don't have it,
Or they just didn't do it.
And they would just not tell him half of what was going on.
What's the biggest hindrance? If Donald Trump were to win election again, the media is going to look very different in 2025, in January 2025, when he would be inaugurated. What's the biggest hindrance for Donald Trump to just start getting the job done?
As president or getting elected?
No, like as a dad, as a father.
As a father.
Busy working man. Career, family, hard to juggle. Not sure how he'll pull it off.
That should be the first question you ask him when you do your big interview with him. How do you juggle family and business?
I'm talking about when he's inaugurated in January 2025. How should I be more specific?
What's the biggest hindrance to him getting the job done?
Yeah.
It is the intelligence community. It is the working against the president that comes from inside the government.
Because that's not the media.
No, that's not. Well, okay, because I'm saying after he's elected, yes, the media would be a problem, but they've been a problem. It's once he's elected, then he's got to deal with these.
The reason the media...
Bureaucracy. I mean, he's tried to remove people from positions that serve at will to the president and been blocked by the courts. And if you can't get rid of people and put in people that are going to execute your agenda, it doesn't matter what your agenda is if you don't have people to help you execute that agenda.
Here's some thoughts of what other people think would be his biggest hindrance. Kevin C. says his mouth. Joe says more investigations. That's only going to happen if the Democrats have authority in one of the branches to do that. And Chris Washington says the Constitution would be Trump's biggest hindrance. He would then move to suspend it. This is important to say out loud because this is the people who fear Donald Trump, who, out of respect to you, Chris, I understand that you think that way and that there are other people who certainly think along those lines. I really feel like there are people on both sides of the Trump issues, the never Trumpers and the always Trumpers. The never Trumpers, and I'm labeling Chris that. Maybe, Chris, you aren't that. So if that's not the case, then I won't apply this to you. But the never Trumpers believe that Donald Trump is evil and here to end the United States of America as we know it. And the always Trumpers believe that Donald Trump is an incarnate savior for the United States of America, and that anything he would want to do to fix the United States of America, we should make way for. And I'm somewhere in between. I'm not either one of those. I think they're both too passionate about the person and not about the platform. Donald Trump is the man who could go in and, in my opinion, knowing where all the bodies are buried, maybe literally. I don't know. I heard that on Wiggins America on Saturdays.
You heard me say that. Yeah, okay.
I think that he could be incredibly effective. Donald Trump has a really hard time getting out of his own way.
Yep. I mean, he is his own worst enemy, but it's always the same with Trump. You take the good with the bad. And the question, was it Chris that just said, he would destroy the Constitution? I would challenge you to say, what has he done that did destroy the Constitution? If you had to point to anything, I'd say that he was using executive overreach for a lot of things that is unconstitutional, or is at least stretching the Constitution. But he didn't come up with that plan. Presidents before him and after him now with Biden have used executive action in a terrible way, and he was just doing the same.
Well, the reason they're saying that is because Trump made a comment on Truth Social that after something came out with something election related, that he said the Constitution should be suspended in this instance because this is such a travesty or an injustice. The thing is, you can't just say, I'm the president, I'm suspending the Constitution. That's not how it works. The president's not a monarchy. He's not a ruler. He's not a king. He's the executive. He's the chief executive officer of the United States. But there's still checks and balances, i.e. the courts and the legislative branch. It just doesn't work that way, guys.
Want to get some more comments? Today's YouTube live chat poll. Are you a Tucker Carlson fan? Yes or no? What are people saying, Hannah?
Jane Timon from our YouTube page that she's straight up done with Fox over this Tucker Carlson thing. Clayton says that he'd love to see Tucker on CNN because he'd help them.
Do you guys want to see competition between the networks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
I mean, to be diehard about one network, I mean, I think that journalism and truth would all be served well if the competition on getting ratings was about being first to the truth.
Yeah.
Going along with that, Robert from YouTube says half of the staff at CNN would quit if Tucker went back there. Was he there ever?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Michael B. from YouTube says, I always would make time at 7 p.m. for Tucker Carlson. I might not have agreed with him, but he was always worth watching. I always turned it off after him. Linda Finger thinks that Fox is going to be in trouble without Tucker Carlson, a part of them. Mike G. said Jesse Waters is next. He is much like Tucker.
All of these are making assumptions as to why Tucker Carlson is not there. I don't think we know the answer to that question yet.
No, we don't, and I hope we do. I hope that he's not muzzled by contracts or something, because that could be the case that we never really find out.
The only way that he would be is if he agreed to it.
Yeah, legally, which he could have.
Like and his. I just think he's. I saw someone on here say Tucker Carlson is bigger than Fox News. I think that that's true. And it was good to have him on Fox News.
I'm going to make a not so bold prediction here and say that if, because Mike G's comment is up here that Jesse Waters could move into that slot. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
No, he's saying Jesse Waters.
Oh, is his next? He's going to fire him. I actually think that if you see Maria Bartiromo be the next to be fired, then we know that this was all related to Dominion. Not so bold prediction though, that Tucker actually takes this, and maybe this was the plan, maybe it wasn't, but that his next step would be to build up the Daily Caller, much like the Daily Wire.
We already talked about that.
Oh, did you?
Thank you for listening.
He founded the Daily Caller.
Yeah, but build it into this empire, because right now it's not nearly as big.
Bold prediction.
Yeah, not so bold prediction.
It's almost like you heard that somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we have podcasts. You can listen to the show you're on later if you'd like.
I'm going to go listen to the first segment and see whatever you say, and then just repeat it.
What fascinates me about this is you have two of the major anchors of networks fired within hours of one another, and Twitter is blowing up about Tucker Carlson, not about Don Lemon.
Well, it might be because of your Twitter feed.
Well,
there is definitely algorithm that is in play there, but I see what you're saying. And I also would challenge the idea that Don Lemon is one of their biggest anchors.
Well, that's true.
I don't even know who the anchors are anymore, but
process of elimination, I guess.
Yeah.
You're down to Tapper and Lemon.
All right. Jan from YouTube says he was the only voice I listened to who was willing to stand up to the hypocrisy of the left. We need his voice more and more. Alan suggests that Newsmax could become a bigger player if they could attract Tucker Carlson. Michael from YouTube says, I hope he goes to Rumble with Crowder. That would be awesome. Brad Williams says, I don't watch Fox News because of the subscription requirements. Too many separate subscriptions to keep track of. So he just doesn't watch Fox at all.
I commented on that earlier, and that's where I want, if you're not watching Tucker because you don't want to do subscriptions, then you're not that invested in Tucker Carlson. I want people to understand how, if you go to, if someone's like, subscribe. I'm asking you all the time. I would love for you to come subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. It's something that if you like what we do here and you support us and you want to see us succeed and you like to be able to turn us on from noon to 3, our ability to reach people on YouTube helps us grow our product and can lend to helping us be more successful. Even if you're not really a YouTube user, and you go to YouTube and you're signed in on your Google, Gmail, whatever account, you can subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Whatever Tucker does, if you like him and you want to see him succeed, even more so, if you think that his perspective and voice is irreplaceable, you have to get into the mentality of media and reaction to what's going on in our world and exposing of truth. Not being the old way of one TV bill that gives you the things that you need and costs an astronomical amount of money. You need to really think about putting your money behind supporting these people who do end up becoming independent, which is what we were talking about the Daily Caller before. If you support it, if, the Daily Wire is something, I'm a subscriber of some level. I don't know. I signed up a long time ago. I don't even know what it is, to the Daily Wire, because I value it. And I want to see it succeed. I have to put my money behind that.
All right, here we go with the YouTube results. Are you a Tucker Carlson fan? Yes or no? With 289 votes.
Ooh, I got 295 on mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you read the results?
It's probably still the same results.
Okay. Are you a Tucker Carlson fan? Yes or no? On my computer, I have 81% of the people saying yes.
Same.
19% of the people saying no.
That's a huge poll for us. And
yeah.
I see what you folks are saying, and I am encouraging you to stay diligent to find out what happened, react accordingly. But if you still support Tucker after the facts, find him, support him, get his voice back out there. I think that's where I am right now. I don't know about Don Lemon though. Mark Reardon up next. Don't go away.
I'm Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey. As the state's chief legal officer, I will enforce the laws as written. I will hold accountable those who violate state and federal law by knowingly hiring unauthorized